I was coming to talk some ball yesterday, right? And I'm sitting there watching the Warriors game, and it's getting a little more exciting. It's getting a little more intense. It's getting crazy. And then they get to the fourth quarter, they pull the 49ers. They got a 12-point lead. They managed to lose the game by 12. I said, what? What did you guys do? I thought you guys had this. Celtics are tough. That's going to be a great series. But let's get to football. Here's the thing. Trey's looking sharp. Looking sharp right about now. All right? On the second open to the Media Niners workout, there's really nothing to worry about for now anyway. It looks like San Francisco is moving in the right direction, which is what we wanted to hear. Add an exclamation point to that good news of the fact that the entire 2022 draft class has been signed as of yesterday, Thursday. And tonight, taking your phone calls after going over some of the details of Wednesday's sizzling preseason workout and amongst other things that have cropped up since yesterday. And then let's go ahead. First, the good news is, as I mentioned yesterday, the Niners announced they have officially signed all 9 players from the 2022 NFL draft class. Each of the 9 players signed 4-year deals, including defensive lineman and second-round draft pick, my dude, Drake Jackson. Oh, if this dude comes in and can complement that other side, I want people, nobody's going to be as afraid of anybody as they are Nick for now. I don't know, but maybe. But if Drake comes over the other side, say, oh, God. Hey, look, guys, we got to do something else here because Drake Jackson looks like it's not going to take him too much time to get up to speed. Okay, so what we're going to do. And I want to hear that conversation with these teams that we're playing against. Eat up that quarterback. Eat him up. In fact, Womack, the third, who finalized their first contracts as well with the club yesterday, the entire rookie class has been present at OTAs while the front office worked out the formalities with their representation. No drama. See, let's not do any more first round picks. Well, we don't have to worry about that for next year now, do we? Anyway, if we had a first round pick, they'd be hanging around. They'd be looking at the contract, looking for little passages and phrases that aren't going to make them happy. We're going to have to hold off on that signing. Listen, we've got a little issue with this particular segment here. Now, what does this mean exactly? So we have to go through that. Here's what is really special. The Niners have signed Mr. Irrelevant, the 41st pick, number 262 overall in the 7th round of the 2022 draft, a.k.a. Brock Purdy, to his rookie deal to the dollar tune of $3.75 million. In his wildest imaginations, as he's sitting there watching the draft pass him by one round after another, he's probably thinking that was going to be somewhat of the case, but he probably had no idea that we were going to get to round 7 and he'd be Mr. You-Know-Who. $3.75 million for sitting there just wondering if you're going to play football in the NFL. Coach Shanahan said back on April 30th, quote, so he was a guy we knew early that was our number 1 free agent we were going to go after. And when you get through there and they haven't been drafted and we got the last pick, we thought it was perfect. I mean, the guy has played a lot of football, plays the game the right way, is extremely tough, gets the ball to the right spot, plays very well in the pocket, and a guy who can come in here and help fill out this roster and give himself a chance to make a team. You know what's really intriguing about that? All those accolades that Kyle pours on him. He's never even said things like that about Trey. You know, I had to laugh and say, damn, Kyle, you like him that much, huh? Just, when you look at him in practice, Kyle would have got him a Jimmy G light. In case things don't work out, I guess. I have no idea. Purdy completed 292 of 407 attempts, 71.7% for 3,188 yards with 19 TDs. And 8 INTs through 13-game appearance as a senior in 2021 per Sports Reference. He completed 67.7% of his passes for 12,170 yards with 81 touchdowns and 33 INTs through his 4 collegiate seasons. You know, I got to tell you right now, all jokes aside, I hope he does look good. Sudfeld does not thrill me in the least bit. I mean, Grant, I like what he did with Trey last year, about all the things he did. But, I mean, dude, and I'll show you what I mean. The report is not good. And, Nate, this is preseason. Ain't nobody out there but you and some rookies and some guys that, come on, Nate, are you serious? And you got some good wide receivers out there? Anyway, in the words, and the bad news, right? In the words of now 49ers Web Zone writer Wayne Breezy, quote, "It sounds like music to our ears, but could losing Alex Mack to retirement hurt the 49ers rather than benefit them? Question mark. The 49ers' current options at the center position include Jake Brendel. He's 29 years old. Daniel Brunskill, 28. Keaton Sutherland and Donovan West." See? According to Pro Football Focus, Brunskill's best graded games in 2021 were against the Green Bay Packers, 74.8, and New Orleans Saints, 75.1. The addition of Mack relieved Brunskill from his role as a center. As a center, Brunskill allowed 1 sack and 3 quarterback hits. That's not bad. He wasn't out there that long, but, he serves better as an NFL guard. He could easily be a candidate for the center position in San Francisco. Sutherland is 25. He will be restricted free agent after the 2022 season. He signed a 1-year deal with the 49ers at $895,000 last year. Sutherland played 17 offensive snaps with the Cincinnati Bengals. The Niners didn't address the center position in the draft, as you know, but the team signed an undrafted free agent center, West, to a 3-year, $2.57 million deal with $100,000 guaranteed at signing. West had a minimum third-round grade entering the 2022 NFL Draft. He is currently working with the third unit, and his role for the upcoming season is pretty much unclear. With uncertain options at the center position, Mack's retirement could potentially it's a potentially stunt growth killer, Because, as I say, you got a quarterback that really does need veterans around him, especially right now. And Alex Mack is the ideal gone. So no one knows what Coach Kyle Shanahan's plan is going to be. We have to believe that he planned for a possible scenario like this to happen just on the grounds of having good sense. Remember when he said recently, what didn't he alluded to what we already know what's up with that Alex Mack? And remember people coming in, no, man, you know what? People said, Kyle knows, or else he wouldn't be saying that. Good, though. GM John Lynch and Coach Shannon possibly be thinking about bringing in free agent J.C. Treader? Or will Shanahan decide to go with somebody else like Brendel or Brunskill? Are you concerned? Is one of the questions tonight I want to hear you address. But for now, the 49ers held their second open OTA practice on Wednesday without any surprise in participation. Of course, you guys are all enthusiastic this year. When you leave out the potential diva first-round pick, it seems like it's a whole other ballgame, doesn't it? The usual suspects who were expected to be absent remained away from the facility, while most of the rookies took part in individual 7-on-7, playing full 11-on-11 work. Absent, of course, the guys that you expect to be absent, Jimmy G, Deebo Samuel, Trent Williams, Alex Mack, who just announced his retirement. The 49ers did. Nick Bosa, D Ford. I'm glad that Nick Bosa's not out there. D Ford is still with us, by the way. Yeah. And at the facility not practicing were George Kittle, Fred Warner. These are all the guys you absolutely do not want to see get hurt at this point anyway. So being a part of this stuff they're doing right now is unnecessary anyhow. Fred Warner was not involved. Javon Kinlaw, Mike McGlinchey, Jason Verrett, Devarius Moore, Danny Gray. I'm not sure what's going on with him. Davis Price, Daniel Brunskill. They weren't practicing. I'm sure they were doing other things, though. Seeing doing work with trainers, Aziz Al-Shar, Elijah Mitchell. The practice unfolded, as usual, with Trey Lance taking all the snaps with the first team, with much of the 2021 combination of the starting offensive line absent. Jake Brendel was at center. Colton McKivitz stood in the left tackle with Aaron Banks, and at left guard, Jalen Moore took over the right guard position. while Justin School held down the right tackle spot. Second team offensive line consisted of Keaton Sutherland at center, flanked by Nick Zakel, who they've also had hopes for to put somewhere on that offensive line. He was at left guard, and Sam Schluter at left tackle. The right side was held down by Spencer Burford at guard with Justin School at tackle. Trey Lance's best pass during Wednesday's practice was a deep sideline rope that whizzed over cornerback Andrew Thomas. Zoom! Outstretched arms and was cradled by Brandon Ayuk before J-Dub could arrive. Okay. Niners DC D'Amico Ryan said after the 85 minutes of work, quote, he's zipping it past us a lot. He's making it tough on us, unquote. Lance's second best throw. That was probably another laser. This one over the deep middle that found tight end Ross. I got nothing but hands dwelling. Despite sticky coverage by strong safety Talanoa Hufanga said after that, quote, man, that dude can sling the rock. I'll tell you that. Trey has been tremendous, unquote. Of course, it's a little surprise that the coaches and his teammates might want to pump him up right now, though. T. Lance, again, looked impressive in the second off-season practice to open the media. Let that hype flow. You know, get him confident, you know, because you've got to make up that gap. And before you start in with, he didn't like that, I'm just looking at the facts. He doesn't have a lot of experience. No matter how much you want to call him the greatest quarterback of all time, he's got to get some polish. He's got to get some seasoning. I hope it gets a lot in abundance between now and opening day. I really do. And you know what else I hope? That people are getting all upset with me because I'm not, he's got to be the greatest quarterback. Just because I'm not doing that. I hope you get a chance. I pray you get a chance this season. Hey, Ronbo, man, what you guys saying now? Huh? You're talking all that trash about. I wasn't talking any trash about Trey. I was just laying it out there clearly as it is. The facts. The reality is this is the NFL. They eat up and spit out quarterbacks that are polished, let alone those who aren't polished. So I'm scared. I'm going to admit it. You know, I want him to do well, but I want you people to tell me, hey, Rob, how you like him now, man? You going to stop that trash talk? I ain't talking no trash. I'm just saying I'm delighted. And I will be. I guarantee you. Unlike people who like to hate, I don't hate. You will never hear one negative word about me, even if he struggles this year, because I know what he's up against. I know what it takes for a quarterback to come into this league and just start shining right away with little to no experience. It's tough. So I'm just hoping that we can remove that narrative and he can come in there and just all day long. I do. I really do. Yeah, and the thing is, though, what if Lance was struggling in non-contact, non-padded OTA sessions that feature almost no pass rush? That fact that hasn't been the case is at least encouraging for the 49ers. He's looking good. You know, keep looking good. You know, and you build that confidence, polish the skills. You know, Kyle's got to stay in his head, psych him up. You know, what he is good at. I already noticed though. The couple of times when he made a mistake, even during preseason, he doesn't dwell on it. You know how some quarterbacks turn to mush right there as soon as they make a mistake? He doesn't do that, you know. And if anything, I'm hoping he learned from Jimmy on that. Hey, look, you know what? Just get up, go back out there and kick ass. Whatever happened before, forget about it. Just forget about it. Go to it, you know. 14 months after they gambled in the draft to bet that Lance would provide a significant upgrade over JG. However, T. Lance wasn't flawless Wednesday, though. He completed 9 of 14 passes, had one pass dropped by Ayuk, and misfired on another pass to him, throwing it several yards behind him when it appeared there was a miscommunication. These are chemistry things that are going to have to be worked out. We got plenty of time, and they should be fine. Soon. That's a small thing to be concerned about. He was able to fit in that deep pass to Dwelly. But J-Dub wasn't fooled when Lance tried to similar throw to tight end Tyler Croft. J-Dub read Lance's eyes and soared over Croft to rudely spike the ball to the ground. You know what I like about this? J-Dub and Lance got a thing going anyway. Yeah, they talk trash to each other all day. This is good. This is good. Lance don't be fearful. The best quarterbacks in the league don't give a damn about the potential INT. All they know is they're confident they're going to get that ball where they want it. If he gets like that, good. He's going to make his mistakes. All right, fine. But you got to make those mistakes. We don't want any wimpy, scary guy coming out there trying to be careful. That's not going to work. Fred Warner and him had words about that last season. You got to come out there. You got to fire that ball. You got to believe in yourself. You got to do it. You see a guy open, you throw that thing. Throw it. And just make sure you throw a razor to him. I mean, a laser. Still, T. Lance appeared to be passing his early tests with far more rugged exams looming ahead. Coach Ryan said, quote, "It's good to see him just coming into his own role as a leader and being able to take control of the team. We're fired up for Trey and what he can do for us," unquote. Let's go. Other observations from Wednesday's practice look like this. Lance isn't the only high-end 2021 draft pick under examination. He's joined by guard Aaron Banks, a second-round pick who played just 5 snaps as a rookie. Again, time and lumps to be had because the polished defensive guys that are coming in are going to really lay it on you. AB spent his offseason in Santa Clara working with the team's strength and conditioning staff and said his labor resulted in increased stamina and lower body fat. All right. As long as he's still huge, and that's rock. Oh, yeah. Let's go. Banks said, quote, "I kind of transformed my body a little bit," unquote. Coach Cal Shanahan has said Banks was ready to take over for right guard Daniel Brunskill late last season, but the 49ers didn't want to mess with the front five's chemistry while they were rebounding from a 3-5 start. A case of coach trying to take off some of the heat was a scrutinized second rounder. I hope not. You know, one thing I do know, Kyle knows what he's doing. When he gets into these messes, I actually think he sees them coming, too. He's because you got to admit that was clever. Whatever the case, Banks said he began to feel more comfortable around midseason. Banks continued by saying, quote, "I felt like things started to slow down, and I started to understand the game at this level more." Banks, unquote. Banks is the heavy favorite to take over at the left guard spot, which was held down by Lakin T. The previous 5 seasons without a hiccup. That dude is not made out of flesh and bone. He is bad. Now that Lakin T signed a big money deal with the Jets, Banks has huge cleats to fill. I'm talking huge. Lakin T, a Pro Bowl alternate last year. Oh, man, made 80 straight starts. 80 straight starts after ending the lineup. Fam, I haven't checked, but that has to be some sort of a record. For an offensive lineman, 80 starts. You know how many seasons that is? 17 games a year. We did the playoffs twice. God, Lakin hasn't missed a game since he got here, other than a few seconds when he lost his shoe. Him and DeForest Buckner, and we lost them both. Banks' development was slowed, of course. Banks' development was slow, a year due to a shoulder injury he suffered in the preseason opener. Even Banks was quoted saying, "Thomason was just extremely durable. The guy would take some hard hits, and there were some plays that you look at and you're like, is he okay?" It's probably some that car accident out there. And they can get up and, "What? Let's go." Yeah, okay. Yeah. He'd get up, go to the next play, and go on to the next week over and over. Unquote. Jeffrey Wilson Jr. made a nifty fingertip grab on a screen pass from Lance, which came about a year after Wilson suffered the most bizarre injury of the 2021 season. He tore his meniscus while standing up. Just standing up. That's all he did, stand up in the locker room. Wilson returned in mid-November but didn't run with the explosion and aggression he flashed in 2020 when he rushed for a team-best 600 yards and averaged 4.8 yards a carry. That's the Wilson I want to see back so bad. Wilson dealt, because he comes out of the backfield and can make some great catches as well. Wilson dealt with knee discomfort, rushed for 294 yards in 9 games and averaged a career-low 3.7 yards per attempt. He said trusting that knee was stable was his biggest hurdle. Wilson added to that by saying, quote, "You want to be back and do this, but at the same time, you still have those little voices and all those insecurities in the back of your head. The main thing for me was just getting over myself," unquote. He should be over himself by now. Come on, Jeffrey, man, because you know what? I'm telling you, I don't care who they get. I do like this guy, Tyrion. It's pretty much well known that I'm not crazy about Trey Sermon. I hope he does well because we can use him to do well. But I know you can do well, Jeffrey Wilson Jr. Boy, when you turn that corner, coming around there like a locomotive with that arm action, that knee action, I get such a rush. I look at him, pumped at it. So, by the way, only 3 players drafted by former GM Trent Baalke are still on the roster, right? Most some of us should be able to identify 2 of them. If you were paying any attention to the Niners during Baalke's time, both are big money starters and first-round picks. This is why sometimes you can't say everything bad about Trent Baalke. Because the thing is, before I picked those players out, I did stay away from offensive players as much as I could. But I know a defender when I see one, and I know a good defender when I see one. And Eric Armstead and Jimmy Ward, I'll be damned if they weren't going to be Pro Bowlers. They both haven't been yet, but they both could be. And you know who the other one is? Dante Johnson, a 2014 fourth-round pick whose versatility is a primary reason that he's entering his 9th NFL season and has played more games with the 49ers, which is 100, than anyone else on the roster. Can you imagine that? And Dante gets cut every year. I mean, every year Dante's been cut since Harbaugh left. They call him back up at some point during the course of the season, as they have to always do. I don't know why the 49ers just stop cutting him. You're going to need to call him back soon anyway. Dante, at the end of 2021 season, a core special teams player. He filled in a slot cornerback in the regular season finale, moved to strong safety during the game, and then started at outside cornerback at the divisional playoff win at Green Bay. Did a good job. I'll never forget how he walked up right in front of receiver. Put that down. You got putting that, messing with me. You ain't going to be getting nothing here. Oh, not on my watch. I said, look at you, Dante. Boy. Like a lot of us, too, was all over Dante, right? The whole time being on this roster. That was stopped with me, though. Yeah. Fam, I'm a huge Johnson fan now. He looks like he knows damn well what he's doing. It took him a while, but I trust him now. Dante's position this offseason, backup for free safety. Dante looked comfortable at his new spot Wednesday because he knows everything there is to know now. He's been through everything a player could go through. He jumped a short route by tight end Tanner Hudson. Yeah, how you doing, man? I'm Dante Johnson. Ain't no point in you come back through here no more. If I'm out here, man, you go to the other side. It'll make you look better. Dante snagged quarterback Nick Sudfeld's pass for would-be pick 6. I'm telling you, watch Dante Johnson be the star of the season. Later, after he chased Sudfeld out of bounds on a scramble, he reminded Nate about the INT. Dante's out there trash talking. I love it. Sudfeld completed 9 of 12 passes, mostly connecting on short throws, but it was his incompletions that were a little bit disturbing. Along with his INT, he had a pass batted down at the line of scrimmage and batted over through Ray McLeod, who was wide open down the left sideline. This is why I was talking about this Purdy kid. Oh, please, Mr. Purdy, his longest connection was on a wheel route down the right sideline to absolutely all alone running back to Michael Hasty, who juked linebacker Oren Burks before making a sweet outstretched grab. The bizarre, odd sight of the day award goes to Brandon Ayuk, a incomplete deep over the middle pass from Lance Ayuk, who couldn't take advantage of a mismatch. Ayuk ran a crossing route while being covered by linebacker Curtis Robinson. Maybe Curtis Robinson's got some speed and skills. But B.A. couldn't get separation from the undrafted man named Robinson. It's too early in the season to get mad about these things. They don't need to get mad. Just point out what happened in practice is all. Fam, the situations at hand, we got so many because I missed too much time during the week. You got Alex Mack leaving, who for some reason didn't feel it was his last opportunity to get a Super Bowl. He didn't really feel it was worth it for some reason, which worries me. There are things. But anyway, fam, your observations and your opinions on some of the things that took place Wednesday, since I couldn't get away. I was still by his mind. I ain't gonna be watching the Warriors no more, man. Warriors go. Hey, this series is over in 6. Warriors. I mean, I know, Rob. I thought you was a Laker fan. I am, but when the Warriors are winning, I definitely have no problem supporting them. You know what I'm saying? Never. Hey, let's go to the phone. Didn't we have something over here a minute ago? Oh, it's Big Show. Hey, Big Show. Hey, you and I can both look like Joe Montana in shorts and in shirts. Don't feel these fake AF Trey supporters are ego.
Little show.
Let's go, Jimbo. Hey, Tommy Huxley, get in here, Tommy.
What's up, Ronbo?
I haven't talked to you in a long time.
And hello to Little Show. Hello to Little Show.
How's Anne Marie?
Sorry. Oh, she's good.
All right.
She should be back any minute. She's on her little walk.
All right. Well, listen, Tommy. Well,
anyway.
Yes. Go right ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, I want to see,
I'm
see what you're thinking so far.
I'm worried about this. Worried about this O-line. Oh, my Lord.
Oh, everybody is. We're in deep trouble. We're so strong, Tommy, throughout this roster. And then there's that, which could actually determine how well we do. You've got to have solid trenches, defensively and offensively. And we have an offensive line that you're about to tell us about. Baby, what are you thinking?
I mean, do you think they knew that Mac was retiring ever since the draft?
Maybe not that soon just yet, but they sure as hell knew at some point between then and now. I know they did.
Yeah, because if you knew then, you needed to go second round first. I mean, I love Drake Jackson. He was just utilized poorly because I'm a USC fan. I know all about it.
Yeah.
But if they knew they needed to draft a center with the first pick.
Tommy, maybe there was nobody in the draft. I'm a little thinking about that they thought was going to be better than anybody we have in camp. And sometimes that's the case. I don't know. That not anybody available, put it that way.
Yeah. I think Brunskill's solid. I don't know. I just don't think he's even a starter. I think he should be a swing tackle.
Not at center.
You know, not tackle, swing to be guard or center.
Oh, yeah.
If we have someone go down.
That's right. I agree.
And I don't know about Brendel. He's like a second stringer too, so I really don't know what they're going to do. I mean, maybe we should just trust the plan.
Whatever that is.
You know, Kyle
what do you think
the
plan is? I got a kid in there, Jake Brendel, who in Kyle Shanahan's complex system, he needs to know fully what he's doing. He needs to have depth in his thinking out there. He's got to be able to diagnose that defense is coming in by the lineup. He's got to be able to do a lot of things and feed it back to your quarterback so you don't send him down a hole where he can be crushed like grapes. It's serious.
Yes. Yeah, and I think Kyle just doesn't value the interior.
That's true.
He's more about the tackle spot.
Because he wants to run the ball.
Yep.
This has always been his MO. Kyle wants to run the ball. And from there, he can do all his little magic. But first and foremost, run the ball.
Run the damn ball.
We got the runners to do it. The offensive line, though. Well, you got Trent on one side. You got, and no matter what we say about McGlinchey, Tommy, that big moose can run block. Oh, he's one of the best in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
But don't ask him to protect nobody.
But we got Aaron Banks at the left guard. And he's actually pretty good in pass pro. So.
Is he?
He's just not.
He looked good at Notre Dame.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, he was solid in Notre Dame. I think he gave up like 2. I don't think he gave up any sacks. I'm not sure, but he gave up a few pressures, I believe.
That makes sense. That's why they want to train him, get him down a size, and so he can move a little more athletically and get that run game going from his side as well. Yeah, I bet that I agree. Okay.
So, but I think anybody next to Trent Williams is going to be solid.
I know, right?
So I think that's why they got rid of Lincoln Tomlinson.
Yep.
And we couldn't afford him. He priced himself out.
And he's worth it. Whatever they're getting paid, whatever he's getting paid, he's worth it. So good luck to him.
Yeah. I just didn't want to see DJ Jones go, and I know you didn't either.
No,
the guy was.
it really bothered
When
me.
you develop homegrown talent like him in the 6th round, for God's sake,
God.
you want to keep that.
Yes. Yes.
But what was that guy they drafted that said that he has the DJ Jones vibes? Or was it a UDFA? I don't know.
Yeah. I remember him saying that. But it's going to be about Javon. He's going to be the guy, the heir apparent to Jones. And he's got to come. And also, we got to, no matter what, we've got to pay Grant Cohn, even if you got to pay him to keep needling him, Grant. You're going to get that kid. You're going to send that kid to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, that. I understand where Kinlaw's coming from, but if you want more credibility and you want to argue
do some
and
work. Yeah.
come on and show, can you not have your mouth full, man? What the hell was that?
That was frightening. I only watched that once. I'm not watching it again. That was scary to watch. His mouth was flying open.
I know it was.
I've never seen a man open his mouth that wide, and things flying out. Jesus Christ! Oh, who released
What was
the
he
Kraken?
eating? That's what I want to know.
Yes, God.
What was he eating? Like fruit salad or something? Because it sounded juicy.
It might have been coming all the way out of his stomach, just flying out. Guy was outraged. He was pissed. Whew.
Yeah.
He was eating Popeyes.
Chop that chicken and Popeyes.
They have a lot of crust on that crispy chicken. That's why, the offensive line, I don't know what we're going to do. But defensively, you know what, though? I'm sure D'Amico and company, our defense is going to be fine. I have every faith in the world.
Definitely.
Teams are not going to go buck wild on that defense. No.
Yeah, because what we really needed was that secondary was getting torched by Cooper Kupp, but he was torching everybody. But I'm still kind of worried about the nickel. Unless they're going to put Demo in there. I don't know. Who do you see filling up the nickel spot?
Well,
the Shark was a little slow.
Yeah, it's funny because you're mentioning, when you mention the offensive line, it always brings me to tears. The nickel spot always brings me to tears because I have my imagination won't even go there. I have no idea what that's going to look like. You look at the people we have. Diamador, you're right. Oh God, Cooper Kupp would just have a field day on Dio. You could put Mosley in there, but I don't like Mosley in that spot either, though. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, he's more of an outside guy, but I don't mind it. I mean, but I don't think Brett's going to start because he's too delicate. I mean, 2020 he was really good. He didn't get injured at all, I think. Did he miss one game?
Early on. And somebody else went down and he came in. But, he's so good. It's just unfair to be that talented, but you can't play football.
I know.
This game is not really made for you.
Yeah. Because he just died. I love seeing him destroy D-Hop. That was amazing. With no pass rush.
Wow. And I still don't believe that. But it happened for 4 quarters, Tommy. You got to believe it after 4 quarters. Wow.
Yeah, I know.
We'll find out.
But D-Hop he was taking it. He wasn't like complaining or.
No, saying he's fouling me or anything like that. Usually they get embarrassed. It's the first thing they do. Ref, hey! Like, what? What does that mean? You ain't doing your job, ref. Hey, watch it.
Throw the flag.
Well, it's not as bad as the NBA, where every time a guy goes in for a layup, he thinks he's supposed to have a foul. So,
Oh, yeah.
We're going to find out, though, Tommy.
Yeah, man, I don't know about the Celtics. Celtics are tough, and I don't know. I just don't think I can watch the game because I'm bad luck. So I'm going to try not to watch this next one. But it is the final, so I guess you got to watch it, especially since the Warriors are in it.
At home, Tommy, with a 12-point lead.
Yeah, their first playoff loss at Chase.
With a 12-point lead. Okay.
Oh, God.
I tell you what, Tommy. You know
Yep.
what? They
Yep.
play Sunday. I'm going to see you after the game. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right, Tommy.
All right.
Good
Well,
to hear
good
from you.
talking to you. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it really has. Say hi, Anne Marie, for us, and we'll talk to you later.
Will do.
All right, fam.
All right.
All right.
See ya. Bye.
See you, Tommy. Let's go. Hey, go to area code is 415.
What up, Ronbo? It's me, Drake,
Drake.
from San Francisco.
Oh, Dre from San Francisco. Dre, you rolled incognito today, huh? Dre, come on in, man.
Nah, this my new number, Ronbo. My old one got hacked by a hacker. I believe they was from the Rams, but who knows?
Ready to go, ain't got the intelligence to do that. He's in here saying things again that make absolutely no sense. He must be 14. I thought he might be 18 or 21. He says things that a child knows better than. He gonna talk about the 49ers ain't had. That's 30 years without a trophy. That's pathetic. What? The Rams get their first one in L.A. of all time, but yet 30-year gap is pathetic. Okay, Jay, I'm sorry. The boy writes
clear.
things
They
I
bought
try to
their
ignore.
First one. They bought their first one. But just be clear, buying and earning is two different things. I just want to make that clear. So go ahead, Rumble.
Nah, through. Go ahead and address some of the things that happened in practice. And the offensive line is going to be a sore spot with us. We're going to talk about that probably all the way into week one, unless something changes on that offensive line. Because right now, it looks like an offensive line that's got two players on it that you can probably depend on. And unfortunately, one of them is probably Mike McGlinchey. So, I don't know. Your feeling on that, and also the slot position, some of the things that happened in practice. And what is Brandon Ayuk with that? Sometimes I can't get separation on a guy like who? I don't even know who that dude is. What's your feeling?
I've been hearing this lately that him and separation is becoming an issue, and I don't know what that's about. I don't know if Kyle has to say some things publicly about him during the season to make the dog.
Yeah.
To make the dog and him come out to piss him off.
That's unfortunate.
Just say it, Kyle, and get right.
He will at some point if it continues.
Right. Say what the hell you got to say and get the dog out of this boy already. Or you put Grant up to say something, shit.
Grant's going to be that dude. Because Grant doesn't have a problem doing that stuff anyway, right? So pay him a couple extra bucks, and he'll really pour it on. You just have to give him a security guard, an arm, like Johnny Depp walking from one place to another. The world is just full of ridiculous comedy. Oh, go ahead. Some things aren't funny, though.
Yeah. Well, maybe, and then again, maybe it's, okay, it's 50-50. I don't know, Ronbo. Hell, I'm not going to give this man no excuses. I would say maybe it's the corner. He's dominant. And maybe, that could affect his play. Or maybe he ain't got this pads on and it's just,
Well, hey, good point.
Backyard football,
Good point.
ain't nothing too serious. There ain't no need to go ahead and fly off the handle and get ready to pull your hair out.
Mm-hmm. But you mentioned it was a dominant corner. Had it been a corner, it would have been nicer. It wasn't. The man, I believe, is a linebacker. Yeah. What's his name? Aaron what? No, Curtis Robinson, linebacker Curtis Robinson. So keep an eye on Curtis Robinson during camp and preseason games, because if he's making Ayuk sweat, boy, I got to see this. Because Ayuk might have been doing the best he could.
Really, maybe that was the problem. He was doing the best he could. That was it. But I think Brandon Ayuk gonna be a dog.
Yeah,
he got his boy Trey out there. Trey, from what I'm hearing, he's doing good things, excellent things, and I like to hear that. He ain't gonna be the best, because he's a rookie, and I'm expecting for that. The rookie mistakes, Everybody talk about the wobble and his throw. I just think that's just his throw.
I think he got corrected.
He had a wobble with his throw too.
I think he corrected that though. I think that was
I think he did too.
I think that was more of a finger thing than just a normal thing.
that's what I was trying to explain to people. But you know, a certain somebody said that he has a wobble, and he showed that he had just a slight wobble. So I'm thinking he's still getting adjusted with the way his finger is.
Yeah, because
it's just a slight wobble. It's not wobbly like it was.
Dre, the thing was, it wasn't even a wobble. I've never seen a ball fly, a football, it wasn't spinning. I saw a couple throws that weren't even spinning. That shows the strength of his arm, though. You can throw that ball like a shot put. It didn't spin.
Mm-hmm.
I said, wait a minute, and that ball's not spinning. How the hell did he do that? That takes strength. You know, so it had velocity on it.
Yeah, my dad said, he said he had velocity. That's exactly what he said. He said it had velocity on the ball. And maybe that added a wobble, had a slight wobble to it, but that was the velocity.
Yeah, but you know what? Dre, but thing is, Jay, when you throw a football, it does spin off your top finger. When you throw it, it's a spin motion. Okay, now if he's throwing with his middle finger, I could see you can't really. It's a coordinating thing. You can't really spin that.
Look, I suck at throwing the football. I was a cornerback. I suck at throwing the football. Okay, listen, my daughter throws better than me. Okay?
The thing is, with the index finger, the ball comes off the index. You can't. And if that finger's broke,
suck at it.
You know. But yeah.
You know, I throw like I have two broken fingers.
Thumbs.
You know. Yeah. You know, two broken thumb and a broken index finger. You know, I'm just no good with throwing the football. Hey, I was the best. I was a lockdown cornerback. I'll say that much.
All right,
but anyway,
that's something to brag about too. There you go. I played
you know, that was back in middle school.
Mm.
You know,
there you go. Hey.
Got to high school. I seen how big everybody was. I was like, Lord Jesus.
They were, weren't they?
That's what
the wide receivers.
They were huge.
All coaches wanted them tall, long, rangy receivers. You know, those are the guys.
The clunky, lanky ones. But I heard the boy Ray was a dog. He got the attention of the defense. Real talk. They say he got speed. Like
Ray?
Really.
Ray, the new kid. Gray. Yeah.
The Gray. They call him Ray. The defense call him Ray. They call him Ray.
And don't he go? Is he? Who's the one that goes by the name Mooney?
Right.
Is he? He's not the one though. That's another guy.
No, I thought that was.
Yeah, you're right. I got them mixed up. But
yeah, they got me confused because it's Ray. You know, McLeod, and then there's Gray, but they call him Ray, and I'm like. Yeah. But they both can fly. All the Rays can fly. Just don't call them the flying Rays.
But Ray doesn't have straight line speed. He's got that quickness.
No,
as you know, as a defensive back, that you hated. You always had to give him room. Got to back off. He's going to jock you. He's going to have you laying there in the dirt where everybody can see you. You know. So the ankle breakers. That's what he is. So. Exactly.
You be sitting on the bench with a sting in your ankle because he didn't stuck you, and then you didn't fell for it.
Yeah. Mooney's Javarius.
I had those.
Yeah. Everybody did. If anybody that played in the back knows what that is, because it's always that dude who comes downfield and can turn on a dime, left or right, after and gone, and then you standing there reaching like, my hamstring, pretend like it hurt.
You better be reaching for something if you have a. You better be reaching for something if your daddy is in the audience and your coach is a hard ass. You better be reaching for something.
Certain girls, ladies, because they'll be laughing.
Yeah, you let him run past you.
She's laughing at me. God, I don't want to play anymore.
Pull me.
All right, we're gonna go. I'll be Sunday looking for you. Okay.
All right, Ronbo. Y'all be easy out there. Y'all stay safe. Wear your mask because McDonald's had got me infected with COVID.
Oh, see? It's going nuts again. But it's not as bad as it would be if it was still the Delta variant. So this COVID wants to live. Right. So it's just giving people horrifying colds. But they're calling it, you know.
Yeah, that's all it is. Just a horrifying chest cold right now.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
All right, go.
Y'all stay easy and mask up.
Yeah, so glad to hear you're doing. You're making it through it though. All right. We'll see you this weekend.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right, man.
All right, Ronbo.
Night, Trey. Hey, yo, Jay.
Yo, Ronbo.
Trey, Man, we're just now talking about Wednesday's practice, and Trey was out there doing a good job. We had some other guys on defense. Also, Jimmy. You know what's what I like about J-Dub? J-Dub, man, is like the veteran of this team, right? Dub's out there working out. Him and Eric Armstead, man, they're out there working out. And, making sure that enough defensive effort is put out there to stress the offensive people. And they look good. I didn't hear anything about any big-time runs, though, from running backs. But Dwelly and Ayuk was having problems with a guy named Curtis Robinson. I guess he'll clear that up. But Trey made some nice passes. He had a few. There was miscommunication. But this is all chemistry building time anyway. And Alex Mack is leaving us, which is worrisome. As our offensive line, we're all going to be talking about it. We're all going to be concerned about it right up to first day. If we can't launch an offensive because the offensive line is just getting trashed on every snap, we're going to be crying some big tears. Wait, Jay, let me stop. What did you get from Wednesday's practice?
About Wednesday's practice, I mean, there was a running back that I think showed out. It was Jordan Mason, I think. The running back.
Yeah, I do remember seeing something about him that day, but on this report, I didn't see his name mentioned. Yeah,
I think.
And
I think I'm talking about.
What do you remember? What do you remember? Oh, last weekend. Also, Talanoa Hufanga, he's saying things like, "Shh, man, I'm starting to feel this NFL speed. I'm feeling this. No problem." That's encouraging because Kwaski T apparently he ain't coming back.
Damn. Yeah, that sucks. That kind of sucks because Kwaski, he did stop some touchdowns last year, even though he dropped that interception.
But
I remember
the Green Bay game, he was straight money.
Yep. In week 2 against the Eagles, he stopped a long touchdown by Jalen Hurts. I remember.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
He made a lot of great plays. He made a lot of great plays. Yeah. Him and J-Dub, do you know he's one of the fastest guys on the team? I didn't know that till this last year. Kwaski T can move.
I mean, yeah. He dropped that interception. I feel like we should still sign him because he was good. That interception was bad, but
But you know how Kyle is. That when I noticed something about Kyle, if you really do something to really piss him off, he doesn't get over it. So they were looking through who's going to have to get paid now, and who's somebody we can let go. Yeah, he'll pick out some guys.
Yeah, and about Alex Mack, I already knew he was going to retire, Ronbo.
Yeah, I did.
Even Kyle said that he knew it too as well because.
Well, he wouldn't say it. He would admit it though.
I mean, he wouldn't say it, but
but you got to feel it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he said. I think the reporter asked him his question, and he said, "You guys also know what Alex Mack is going to do," or he said something like that. He said something along those lines. He said, "You guys know what she's going to do." Basically, he said that, and he's like, he retired.
Jay, don't you wish he would stop playing? Kyle is always Mr. Cloak and Dagger. Kyle, you could say things like, we're not certain about what Alex's future, if it includes us or not, but what we are doing, we're moving forward with plans to make sure that we got a substantial guy to come in and, if nothing else, learn from Alex or be able to take over. Kyle, why do you have to make us? Kyle likes to see us guess and sweat and wonder, and he really likes that. Balky never did that. But we know Balky was an idiot. But still, it's so bad.
I don't lie. I don't know why, but he just
they don't want to tell people things. Him and John, they don't want you to know a damn thing unless they want to. I understand that to some degree, but not about everything.
Yeah, and I feel like our nickel. I don't think that Darquez Denari is going to be our nickel. I think Samuel Womack is going to be our nickel, to be honest with you.
Womack is quick.
I heard that guy's he's quick. He has that 4.3 speed.
Yeah.
And, if not him, I think Emmanuel Mosley might be switched to nickel, but I don't know if I want to do that because, I don't know if he has played right there. I think he has, but that ain't his spot.
You need to be a certain mind to play that position. Mostly's got the physical tools. I don't know if he's got the thinking to play that position. That position, you need to be able to look at that defense at a glance and know exactly what they're going to do. A lot of guys could do that. K'Waun Williams was a friggin' Jedi when it came to that. But he lost a step last year. I think he might have been hurt. Cooper Kupp has never enjoyed a day like he did in the NFC Championship game like that against K'Waun. Tyler Lockett, another guy that just kills people. K'Waun would not let him play. So you need to know what's up. You need to know what's going to go. You need to be able to anticipate. K'Waun's had some. Oh, he's so good. None of the guys on the roster right now are K'Waun Williams.
Yeah, it's sad that we had to lose them to the Broncos, but I think you said something about Brock Purdy, right, Ronbo?
Yeah. Kyle said all kind of wonderful things about Brock.
I mean, didn't you say wonderful things about C.J. Beathard and who else? Nick Mullins?
That's true. Well, he didn't say anything about. Well, you know what he said about Nick? He said Nick, the only guy that knows the playbook better than myself is probably Nick Mullins. That blew me away when he said that. This is the guy that's working out in the dark.
I don't know where your Nick Mullins and CJ Beathard are right now.
Well, actually, Mullins is in Oakland. Vegas. I don't know where CJ is. He's in Jacksonville.
Yeah. But about Trey, I was hearing these things about him having a wobbly ball and stuff, and I think he's trying to fix that probably. I feel like he knows that he has that, and that doesn't take 1 year just to fix something like that. That takes at least multiple years. I'm pretty sure.
Wait, Jay, it cannot take multiple years for him to fix that.
I know. I mean, like, didn't Aaron Rodgers sit for like how many years, Ronbo? For like 2 to 3 years, and he during that time he was fixing his whole mechanics, like.
Jay, okay, see, this is what I'm talking about. People think I hate Trey. I don't hate him. I just wish he could get more seasoning. This is my only issue with him. He had 1 year of college football.
Year, Ronbo.
He's not going to get any seasoning this year. He's the man this year. He's got to go out there and learn on the job.
You have to learn, that's life,
It is, I know.
Last year, but it's too late for that now.
I just hope he can win while he's learning. So.
Our defense is going to try their asses off, Ronbo, because, remember against the
Real quick.
The Cardinals, literally the best team at that time. Remember that?
Yeah.
They were like 4-0 or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And our defense fucking held them to a couple of points.
I know where you're going
as well.
I know where you're going, and we're going to need that defense.
Going to be stacked, Ronbo.
Yes, I've already said I second that too. We'll be fine there. We'll see if we get some points. We'll be fine. Jay, I'm gonna be back Sunday, and let's see what happens after that NBA game. All right,
Ron, but one last thing. Wait.
10 seconds, quick, or else production's gonna cut us off. All right, I guess they already did. Clarence Molina says, here is a donation for Frankie G. Fathead to replace Jimmy G once he is traded or released. Number 21 Hall of Famer class of 2026. Can I get a Niner shout out, please? Clarence, you know what? I'll put a Frankie up in a heartbeat. There's no danger of him leaving. That's what I'm talking about. Steve Young, Frankie, anybody that's already made a big name for themselves as a 49er and is not going to be playing. I'll even take Roger. Even though they won't put him in the Hall of Fame, he should be in there. Roger Craig should be in the Hall of Fame. Everybody knows it. Hey, let's get it. Tony Nagatani from the blue waters of Hawaii. Tony, you just got a new haircut. Just got a haircut, too. It looks good. Yeah.
Thank you, Ronbo. Aloha. It's been a little
Aloha.
bit. How you been?
Great. We're just watching things develop here. And football season getting underway. Because we wait for this moment. As soon as after the draft comes, you count down the days, and then you get into the season, and then we get to make these observations that mean nothing, Tony. But I want you to make some meaningless observations tonight, because things are going to change anyway between now and training camp 1. But, Tony, what are you feeling so far?
I'm concerned. I'm very, very concerned about Alex Mack no longer, Alex Mack retiring. I am
Yes.
concerned because if we look back on the 2019 season and what happened with Weston Richburg, the Niners were playing so very well, and then Richburg got hurt. They still played well. They still made it all the way to the Super Bowl, but then Chris Jones was able to roll up on Ben Garland, and then, you know what? The Niners lost the Super Bowl. I
Oh.
firmly believe that if Weston Richburg was the center in the Super Bowl, the Niners would have won. But then, we got Alex Mack, and things seem to be okay. And now with him gone, I'm just very, very concerned about this. Now, the one thing that gives me a little bit of optimism is the Niners knew that Alex Mack was going to retire. Kyle previously in a press conference said, I have a pretty good idea of what's going to happen. They restructured Alex Mack's deal very unceremoniously on the day that he then retired. And on that same day, all the 49ers draft picks all signed. So that tells me the 49ers knew for some time that Alex Mack was going to be retiring, and they were just waiting.
By that connection alone. Exactly.
Yeah. Now, it's just worrisome because Brendel, who athletically has some chops, although a lot of the offensive line 49ers gurus don't particularly like Brendel as a long-term starter. Brunskill can play some center, but, as people have pointed out, if we move him from right guard to center, that creates two vacancies along the offensive line at both left guard and right guard, being different than last season. So I'm not sure if that's the best move. At the end of the day, absent Donovan West being a miracle undrafted rookie free agent who comes in and starts at center, I think the best course of action is to move Brunskill to center and then have Aaron Banks at left guard and then Jalen Moore at right guard, and then go to battle with that offensive line. Fingers crossed that Mike McGlinchey can come back and be what he was before that bad leg injury. But I am concerned, Ronbo, about the center position.
Yeah. Right guard, you like, what is his name again?
Moore.
You like Moore? I'm wondering, is Moore the guy? He's a guard anyway. And in fact, the 49ers were trying to turn him into a tackle, which wasn't really his forte. But at right guard, if he can do that, he seems to have the athleticism necessary to play, we might be okay. Because, Tony, I'm looking at this whole offensive line this year as a patchwork, makeshift. Hopefully they'll make it work out. But, Tony, my fear is, no, not with our quarterback, not this year.
Right.
That's the thing that's scaring me to death.
So here's the thing. We still have the best offense. We have the best player in the NFL in Trent Williams playing left tackle. Let's be real here, okay? So we're going to be able to run on the left-hand side no matter what. McGlinchey is coming back. He looked good in those videos. We'll see how he progresses when the season begins. I think Moore was moved to tackle out of necessity last year because remember, Justin School got hurt and then McGlinchey got hurt, and then all of a sudden we were playing musical chairs at right tackle with Tom Compton, who ended up grading out pretty well at the end of the day, playing
the
right
run game,
tackle for us. Yeah, for the run game. Now, here's the thing with Trey. You're absolutely right, because we have essentially a guy who has not taken that many snaps in the NFL, essentially a rookie coming out next year, and with an unstable position at center. But he does have wheels, so we can get him off the ball, move him around in the pocket a little bit, use his mobility to his advantage, and that could actually end up being really beneficial for the offensive line. The other thing, though, and this is a worry about Trey now. Now, I am a big believer in Trey Lance, and I think he is going to be a really good player. But many people have criticized, I guess, how long it takes him to get rid of the ball. Now, from what I understand, in training camp, he's improved his release. But some other folks, the other take is there was apparently a pass that he threw deep that Ambry Thomas was able to catch up with. And while most folks were crediting Ambry Thomas for being able to accelerate and use his athleticism to break up that pass, there were folks out there who were saying, though, that means that Trey Lance was getting rid of the ball too late. Now, I believe in Trey Lance, and I believe he is going to come along very, very well. But the dominoes of a disrupted offensive line is definitely something to worry about going into this season, especially playing the schedule that we have this year, playing the AFC West. And, Aaron Donald hasn't retired yet. So we're going to be playing him. Oh. So it's I don't mean to be, negative, but that's
the truth has to be told. And Tony, you haven't mentioned the AFC West yet. Oh my God, every last team in the AFC West has a pass rush from hell. Oh man.
Yeah. Well, iron. The only good thing, iron always sharpens iron, right?
Yep.
So if the Niners emerge going to the playoffs with this schedule, there ain't no team we ain't going to be able to beat. But they just got to prove it.
And the thing is, it's like George Kittle likes to say, "Listen, if nothing else, we can run the damn ball." And I'm thinking, George, you got thunder and lightning forming there back in Elijah Mitchell and Tyrion Davis Price. You got Trey can do that on his RPOs. We don't want to see do a lot of RPOs from Trey's because then we end up with Nick Sudfeld. Nick Sudfeld's coming into the game. No! I can sit already. Please, God, no. So, it's a tenuous situation here.
Think about it this way, Ronbo. Okay, here's what we do. Okay, you motion George Kittle to the left side, have him blocking next to Trent Williams. Juszczyk leads the way, and then we run it with a running back off left tackle, or we do some sort of jet sweep motion with one of our fast guys, Ray McLeod, Debo, once he resigns. These are, that's going to be really fearsome.
He's going to.
If Williams, Kittle, and Juszczyk are blocking all on the same side, that's going to be something to behold. But
and that could rotate.
Up the middle. Yeah. That's the problem is then what happens when they begin moving, shifting that run stopping coverage to outside the tackles. Then we got to be able to run up the middle. That's where the issues are with the instability along the interior offensive line. But this is why coaches get paid money. And the Niners drafted a lot of IOL, but not a single center.
And Tony, the thing is, DCs are going to make the same observation you just did, and they're going to plan accordingly. Yeah. 49ers going to try to hit us. We're not going to deal with Trent any more than we have to. Michael McGlinchey, no matter what anybody says, is one of the best in the game. So what we're going to do is we're going to pile that middle up, and we're going to take out that pansy center. Oh, God, don't do it to us.
And one last thing, too, about this is that, remember, when Tom Brady gets beaten in the Super Bowl, it's because of interior pass rush. It's always up the middle. It's all now, obviously, Trey Lance is not Tom Brady. I'm not making that comparison.
Well, he can move out. That's even better, though.
Of all time. Yeah, he can move out. But if the best quarterback of all time gets beaten because of interior pass rush, it's something to worry about.
It is, Tony. It's the gospel truth. And, you're not like me. I block things in my mind that are going to bring me down. You notice I didn't say anything about the offensive line until somebody brought it up. Tony, I can't stand it. It's like when I was a kid and I loved my mom made a great dinner, and all of a sudden I couldn't stand green peas. She put those peas on my plate and ruined the entire plate. Mom, listen, I want you. Listen, eat your vegetables. It's important. All right, just. Don't ask for dessert. I want those cleaned up. And I'm in tears having dinner. It's the same way I look at the offensive line. The offensive line is the English peas of my childhood. God.
You got to be like Kyle Shanahan and get tricky. You got to hide those peas and mashed potatoes and ground beef. Call some motions, do something, do some trickery, get him down the throat. That's what'll happen.
Tony, I always loved it. I can't stand waiting for you so long to get back. So hopefully you got some time Sunday after the Warriors get through winning that game, and we'll have some more fun.
Ronbo. I'm just really busy these days, but it's all good to talk to you. Aloha.
Aloha, my friend. Night, Tony. And let us go to it's Rohan, 49 Web Zone. Rohan, come on in here, man.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Doing okay, Rohan. I like what you guys are doing over at the Zone. You guys are doing a weekly thing with collaborations on those videos. That's hot.
Yeah, me and my guy Brian, we started organizing that thing. Just getting some more voices out there, just letting people have their own platform. It's pretty nice. So yeah, that was pretty fun today.
It's absolutely fabulous. I loved it. But Ryan, there's so many things to be excited about. But as football fans, and you know this, because you've been watching this game long enough to know, you can't get overly excited about your strengths because your weaknesses are always going to flare up in your mind. Look at it. I was loving it because we were talking about Trey and this and that. We were talking about how this defender was doing and this is doing and this is going so far. And all of a sudden you start thinking about the reality of that offensive line and a blank comes up in your head, God, I don't know how they're going to fix this. Roy, touch upon some of these issues.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not gonna like sugarcoat it, right? I like to speak objectively, so I'm not gonna say the offensive line is completely known. We know that we're gonna thrive next year, but I think a couple of the claims are unfounded. I do believe that some of the concerns are unknowns, but unknowns aren't necessarily always negative. They're not necessarily positive, but not negative. We just found out that Alex Mack is retiring. At left guard, we know that Aaron Banks is a starter, and I think a lot of people now have gotten settled in on that. That probably because of the right side of the offensive line, but they've settled in on that. They've understood that Banks could have probably started last year. He was available midseason. I think if the 49ers lost if they lost to Los Angeles, you see Aaron Banks out there in Week 11 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. But they start going on a winning streak. You stick with your offensive line because you're winning. Similar thing with Trey Lance, right? But now going into this year, center position, I think the 49ers have known for a while. Let's just look at their drafting strategy real quick. Who do they select? They took two players, versatile offensive linemen, Spencer Burford in the 4th round, Nick Zakelj in the 6th round. Burford has tackle guard flexibility, probably projects best as a guard in the NFL, but has played tackle over there at UTSA. Zakelj has all 5 position flexibility, played tackle, left tackle at Fordham, but played guard at the Senior Bowl and even experimented at center and has the agility and the athletic profile to play center, which John Lynch and himself alluded to post-draft. So
and he has an attitude, which is wonderful.
Yeah, exactly. And he's extremely smart as well. So that's very important. But the reason I bring those two players up, there's another versatile offensive lineman on our team, and that's Daniel Brunskill. When you see the 49ers are trying to replace him in a way by drafting these versatile offensive linemen, that to me tells me they're trying to solidify him at one position, and that could be center in 2022. They might try and solidify him at one position like they did last year at right guard rather than playing that swing tackle role. But now with the hole at center, they could solidify that position with Brunskill in 2022. However, I'm going to go an interesting route, and I'm going to give you an alternative.
All right.
Trey Lance is the most important player for the 49ers on offense. I know we have Deebo Samuel, but really our success is now predicated on how Trey Lance is. And by success, I mean Super Bowls. So when you look at it, whoever plays center for the 49ers is going to be important this year. And right now in-house, there isn't a premier investment at center, right? Like there's been in the past. However, there's one player to me that stands out, and that is Jake Brendel. Last year, Trey Lance played with the second team the entirety of the offseason. Who was the second team center? It was Jake Brendel.
That was Jake.
And now, who's playing with Trey Lance in first team in OTAs? It's center Jake Brendel.
This is a plan.
Really, the most important thing is the rapport that Trey Lance is developing with the center. Daniel Brunskill is out with knee tendonitis now, so it's really Jake Brendel's job to lose at the moment. And them two are developing a rapport right now, and I think that's important because the main factor that 49er centers have to meet is the athleticism. And Jake Brendel is off the charts athletically, posted a 994 RAS score when he was undrafted in 2018. He doesn't have much experience in the NFL, hasn't really been given the opportunity, but this is his first big opportunity, and he's developed the rapport. I think he could serve as the bridge option in 2022.
But Ron, what question? Where's Jake been? He's 28. Isn't he 28?
Right. He is 29. He's 29 right now.
Okay,
but Ronbo,
he's not much experience. You mean backup role mostly?
You're right. He's a backup. But Ronbo, let me tell you this. What team carries a backup center for 3 consecutive seasons?
That's true. He's out of here after 1 year. I mean, I'm not going to spend any money on him. I'm just bring another backup in for cheaper. That's true.
Exactly. So the 49ers, I don't know if the rest of the league believes this, but the 49ers believe that Jake Brendel is a quality backup center. Hell, John Lynch alluded to him so many times in that post-draft press conference. He just kept saying Brendel's name like it was clockwork. And the 49ers believe he's a quality player. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been on this team for this long. You know what I mean?
And they've been grooming him the whole time.
Exactly. And the reason, he right now, he's a veteran going into his 3rd year with the 49ers. He has understanding of the system. He's learned under Alex Mack. He's got the agile, athletic profile. And he can be that bridge center to Nick Zakelj, who I believe will take over at the center position next year, if
Ron,
not
is
Donovan
that
West.
wait. Do you think Zakelj potential is higher enough that he can go and take over that center spot?
I do.
Huh?
At least to
Right.
what do you call it? To Jake Brendel, who's going into Jake Brendel's essentially in the prime of his career right now. As funny as it is to say, Zakelj is a guy who I think can take over that center spot because he's got the smarts, he's got the profile for it. It's just Zakelj has never played center for a consistent period of time. He always played left tackle at Fordham, small school, so it's understandable. So I think it takes, like you were talking about seasoning earlier. I don't necessarily like the word, but it's like it's similar here, right? You need to give him seasoning. Let him understand a playbook. Let him understand the position over this year under tutelage of Kyle Shanahan and the offensive line room, and then groom him for the position next year, similar to what the 49ers did with Aaron Banks this past season.
Right guard. Now, reading up on Zakelj, I was impressed as well. And I like his nastiness. I love a guy that could be mean and nasty on the offensive line. You got Jalen Moore, as Tony likes him at guard. That guard spot is worrying me. I think Mike McGlinchey is going to be fine. I kind of do. What do you think?
I think that guard spot, I think Jalen Moore is a guard as well. I think the right tackle spot at the moment is somewhat solidified because McGlinchey apparently has been ahead of schedule with the torn quad injury. So he should be prepared for training camp. And I think those reps are going to be important, him protecting Trey Lance for sure. But I do think that he'll be ready. I liked what I saw from McGlinchey last year. I thought his last year was his best year in the limited time that he played. I thought he actually developed as a pass protector a little more. In addition to his pretty good run blocking. He's a good run blocker, and if he's developing as a pass protector, I think that's important. I think Jalen Moore's athletic profile, though, is slots him in at right guard. I like that fit.
Rowan, always awesome stuff. We've got to go. But listen, you can catch Rowan. You can catch him at 49ers Web Zone, some of his outstanding articles anyway. And also they're doing a weekly. Rowan, are you going to do that podcast every week with somebody?
Yeah, I think so.
Right.
We got the panel out there every week.
He's organized amongst his colleagues. They're going to be doing those podcasts all the time. So that's going to be special. Rowan, it's going to be a great season. I can feel it. All our worries are going to be going up in smoke. We're going to kick the AFC's butt on a weekly basis. I am not worried about the Rams. They're going to turn to poo-poo. We got this.
Yeah. Thank you. And I'll see you Sunday.
Thank you, Ron. Hopefully looking for you too. All right, fam. Yeah. Have a great night. There he goes. Hey, Javon.
What's going on, Ronbo?
Javon, we're sitting back here and looking at what's going on now. We're going over Wednesday's practice and some of the things that are being said by the media people that were allowed to come in and make their assessments of things. Some of the things that you've heard, your feeling on those, and other than the offensive line is everybody's pet peeve. We're all worried about that, but also any other observations that you might have want to touch upon that might be of interest.
Yeah. Well, I think Rohan really broke it down pretty good with
he did.
How we're trying to address our offensive line, because it was really a mystery at the time, was trying to figure out like how come we didn't take a center in the draft. Because we had to have known up until that point if Mac was going to retire or not, and it seems like we did based on how we I think it was another caller saying how we restructured his deal and signed the rookies at the same time.
Oh, Javon,
So
before you
really
get past this point, I just want to ask you one question. Would you draft a center in the first round next year? Oh, we don't have a first round pick. Well, will that be and even in the second round, would you go for an offensive lineman, particularly a center next year?
I think it really depends on
how Brendel does,
and also what happens with Donovan West as well. So
he's supposed to be good at that. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it seems like he'll need a year.
Yeah, this is a feeling out year because the 49ers seem to address whatever. This year they went crazy with the back secondary because it's been a weak link. Running back situation, they address it. We're going to
rightfully so.
Hey, Joe, I guarantee you next year we're going to be addressing the running backs again. Why? Because they drop like flies all during the course of the season. And yeah, the offensive lineman, second round pick, 49ers select.
Yeah, gotta get used to it. We're gonna be drafting a running back damn near each year to just continue what we have. I mean, all our running backs we have had some injuries, so it's good to bring in Ty Davis Price because he hasn't had any injuries that he's really dealt with. So bringing in a fresh guy, that's really helpful right there. I'm really liking what I'm hearing about Danny Gray. I mean, you're hearing a whole bunch of good things about him as well.
Bullet.
So yeah, seems like he's going to be a really good X factor that you can use in many different ways. So
if for no other reason, decoy, get that midfield coverage to respect. You know, they're standing there. Bring it in, guys. Bring what in? All right, Danny. You know what to do. God. Because people don't have respect. If you don't have a blazer, then teams they don't care if you got a great wide receiver. We can cover him. We can stay with him. No big deal. Send a blazer out there. All right, y'all. Gotta get ready. Don't make a miss. I like that.
Yeah, so you're definitely seeing some improvement there. Like I said, with Ty Davis Price, I'm really expecting some great things with him rotating out. Aaron Banks looks like he's made some improvements. I was always stressing that he was going to do that, so it looks like he's made some put on some more muscle, has some more weight on him. Looks like he's really ready to show what he can do.
Get him on that chicken breast diet and stop eating all them barbecued ribs, Because the offensive linemen, they can see whatever they want to. Not in Kyle Shanahan's offense. You got to be able to move that big butt, And he's already a big dude naturally. If they hardened him up and dropped his body fat so he can move, can you imagine Aaron Banks out there moving with Spider-Man-like agility? Game over if that'd be the case, because Trent's already that. It's an exciting thought.
Oh yeah, and it seems like that's what McGlinchey's idea was to get rid of some of that excess fat and just turn it into muscle so that he can even improve some more on his pass protection, because you hearing that's his weak spot is pass protection, but every year that's gone by he's improved on it just a tad. So
good for pointing that out.
He's figuring out new ways. He's figuring out new ways on how to continue to improve on that. That seems like it's really his focus right there.
Because he gets sick of hearing it. Everywhere he goes, he probably. I mean, can you see Michael get sitting at a restaurant? Hey, you got to work on your pass protect this year.
Oh man,
who said that? We already know Mike can run block, but can you please stop letting 180-pound cornerbacks take you down? Nobody's going to ever forget that.
Oh yeah. So yeah, it just seems like right now the really big question mark is going to be Jalen Moore. We're really going to have to figure out what's going to happen with him, and how he's going to end up panning out. We just, we need him to we don't want him to be somebody that he's going to be a liability. Just show that you can hold your own for a few more seconds than necessary. We do have Trent Williams as well, and then on the other hand, I think another caller said you got Kyle Juszczyk, you got George Kittle also helping on the block. Danny Gray, you heard what he said: no block, no rock. He's ready to commit. Ayuk's been great at blocking. Debo's always been a great blocker. Yeah. We aside from the O-line, all the guys outside of that have been great at blocking as well. And I feel like that's what Kyle's always been looking at.
Even Emmanuel Sanders, who weighs $130, was blocking. I was impressed with that. Kyle gets into the head. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And it looks like that's what we also wanted to pick up Ty Davis Price for, because he looked like he was a good blocker in college as well. Yeah. So when you have those guys that are committed to be X factors when they don't even have the ball in their hands, it can really open up on how our offense is going to be.
Javon, this is why I want him to get Frank Gore on the coaching staff. Remember Frank didn't care how big that rusher was. Frank says, your eyes may shine, your teeth may grit. But in here, you'll never get. Boy, Frank would take him down. I had it on a loop. I lost. I got to find that file. This dude from Chicago, he looked twice the size of Frank. Frank was all up in him. Took him down. It's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog.
That's what it is. That's what it is. When people don't have the ball, it's you really see if they want it or not. Like before we played Green Bay, I remember Kittle said like, "Hey, when we're playing in the snow, this is when you really get to see who wants to play football."
Yep.
And everyone knows Kittle ready to play football. He's been committed to blocking since day one. So
his dad taught him
definitely.
that. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. So when we have guys with that type of enthusiasm, even when they're not going to get that ball because it's only one football to go around.
Exactly. Unselfish play. You need to have a certain attitude to play defense. You need to have a certain attitude to be like George Kittle and enthusiasm. And George Kittle, he's contagious with that enthusiasm. He's running out all the line. Yeah. Listen, I'm one of the best receivers in the league, guys. If I like to block, then you damn sure should have to want to block too. So, see?
Big time.
God. Jamal, we got to go. Hey, I'll see you Sunday, though, huh?
Hey, appreciate you for having me on. Shout out to the faithful. We're definitely gonna show something good on this season. Can't wait.
Yeah, I can't either. We got a few weeks to go. We'll get there. All right, fam. Night, Javon. Hey, Levi. Levi. Every time, ever since I first saw that word, why is there an S at the end of this word? Hey, Emilio.
Yeah, what's happening?
Well, Emilio, I just got informed by marketing brother Stafford owns the NFL. 1 year play, one winning drive to win a Super Bowl of all time. But other than that, the reality is we have started this season, Emilio, and we got big plans. You and me, we go back. We got big. Wait a minute, let me correct that. Emilio didn't always have big plans at the beginning of the year. That's how come him and I have been knowing each other so long. Because Emilio would call in just to say we suck. And I'd be arguing on the phone. I'm like, oh, Emilio, man, come on, man. You ain't seen nothing yet. And then he turned out to be right. 2N, 1N, 3N, But Emilio, this year, the table is set to win some ball games, but we have a couple of little flaws that are worrying people. As you know, everybody's concerned about the offensive line. But if you just heard Rohan, there is reason to believe that offensive line may not be nearly as bad as we think it is. I'm still worried about that slot. I wanted to ask Rohan about that too. But that slot coverage, we're going to get tested. What are some of your thoughts of what happened in practice this Wednesday and some of those issues that I just mentioned too?
Well, no, I think he did. No, Rohan mentioned that. I was thinking some of that stuff. I didn't too much into detail, but then I think about, because Trey Lance has been, working out with the twos, and he has connection now with
Jake Brindle.
I forgot the receiver's name.
Ayuk.
Ayuk, he's been getting chemistry with this. So I think we're gonna be way better than what everybody thinks. Honestly,
I hope so.
You hope so. Hey, man.
No, I say that because I don't think they're going to be that bad, but I hope they're going to be way better than what I'm thinking. Because I got the 49ers at minimum winning 10. If they can win 13, well, I would be happy as can be.
They're at a minimum of 10, and depending on how Trey really plays and how this team turns out, we're able to at least win between 10 to 14 games. Honestly, depending how the team is, it's going to really all depend on Trey. Is he really going to, show out and tell the media, I'm here. Mm-hmm. I'm the new 49er quarterback. Mm-hmm. I'm here. I'm doing my thing. Like you said, I'm not worried about what you guys say. It's up to the coaches. Mm-hmm. My coaches is what I'm worried about. My teammates. And not you guys. I care less what you guys say.
And because they're going to keep talking anyway. I want that defense this year to stop talking about, we need to come up with a few more turnovers. Y'all, you know what? Stop talking about what we need to do and get the ball. I need some ball hawking out there. I need to see a couple of pick sixes. I want to see some of the things I see from other teams on defense. Y'all do a lot of good job on everything else. But, defense turnovers, y'all. T.O.
No, that's what we do need, because we didn't have that many last year. No, we need turnovers. That's the main thing. It's just, you want to give the offense more opportunities. You want to make sure we win the game. Defense has to make sure that ball gets turned over. We get it more. We have it more.
Kill momentum. Hurt your feelings.
I'm up for that. It's just how you think we got to the Super Bowl, in 2019. Turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have too many last year.
No.
It would have helped being there, but no, we need turnovers more on defense. And this year, actually, defense
2019, you're right.
more fired up.
We were the top 5 or so as far as TOs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were we? Top 3 defense? Top 5? 2019?
Yeah, that matters. People that matters a lot.
It looks like, honestly, they actually look more fired up this year than they did last year.
Mm-hmm.
They look like
they're
more
feeling
ready,
themselves last
with,
year. They was. I think the 49ers, they finally got cocky. I think they knew what they thought they were capable of, and it didn't work. Well, it did, but it took a little while to get started.
Even Fred said himself, he was trying to find himself. Like, man, I was having trouble finding it, And then Eric Armstead, so it just, I think the defense is more ready,
Mm-hmm. A little hungrier. Appetite's a little more rich.
Yeah.
That's true. They should be.
It just, like I said, as of now, I think we're going to do good with Trey. Playoffs for sure. It all depends on how far it's all going to depend on him how far we get. Because, I see the team in the playoffs, but it all depends on him.
Yeah, you know what I see? You know what I see Cam Newton and Josh Allen both in Trey. I see Josh Allen with like that rifle arm and launching into spots where a lot of quarterbacks might be able to do. But I also see Cam Newton making some of these incredible sprints around the edges. Hopefully he doesn't get into that too much because Cam damn near got killed finally. And longevity. If you want quarterback to play 10, 15 years or whatever the case may be, you don't want him doing too much running because Cam is done. How many years did Cam play?
Even Steve Young talked about it. Even Steve Young talked about him. I was like, man, he looks like he's going to be a great kid, great quarterback. But just the one thing he makes sure he has to do, like Steve Young said himself, I had to learn to play the pocket. It's great you can run, but he was like, that's what I had to do to become a great quarterback, a legend. I had to learn how to play the pocket. As long as Trey can do that, he even said he sees a lot of potential in Trey.
Mm-hmm.
Just make sure he knows how to play the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And he's great. He's got the deep arm. And
especially got that kind of tool. Because how much longer do you think that Lamar Jackson's going to last in the NFL? And I ain't saying nothing else on Twitter because people get mad. Boy, I made a joke and they're still mad about that.
He's a running back. I'm sorry. You can throw him in.
That's how come I got in trouble.
Michael Vick he's just like Michael Vick. Michael Vick had one hell of an arm. But at the same time, what did Michael Vick do? He was running before he can throw. Like I said, and go back to Steve Young. Steve Young said it. He said, "Oh, Michael Vick was a great quarterback. It was just he didn't play the pocket.
Ain't in the league no more."
I used to look at the run first, but I had to learn the pocket. If it wasn't for Walsh teaching me how to play the pocket, I would have never been a Hall of Fame quarterback. So you have to learn to play the pocket.
At some point, Kyler Murray's going to learn. Kyler Murray's going to learn, or he's going to be out in 2 more years. His body can't take it. No, too small.
All he does is play backyard football. He just runs around and throws that ball around.
That's that Cliff Kingsbury offense.
He's an idiot. I don't even want to talk about him. He's a horrible coach all around. That's not even him coaching. That just Murray. He just tells Murray, all right, throw to the open man. Just don't get sacked. That's all that is.
And that's the nerve to put on when they figured out $500 shades on the sideline. I said, "But Cliff, you got a lot of nerve."
Like when they figured out Kaepernick. What would Kaepernick do? He would run first and then throw the ball. If Kaepernick learned how to play the pocket, I think Kaepernick would still be in the league. But that was the problem.
Yeah.
He lived to run first. If Kaepernick had one hell of an arm, but it was just his thing was he lived to run. Go back to Steve Young. If you don't know how to play that pocket, you're not going to be a great quarterback.
Longevity is going to be measured. Well, Emilio, I'm going to go and look for you Sunday because I know you was watching that game. That's why I didn't come in yesterday because everybody was watching the Warriors and Celtics. That was one of the best games.
Well, I was listening to it. I was at work, but that was a BS game. But hey, we'll come back and take game two. That's like the 7-game series, and I like the Super Bowl, 1 game in your eye.
There you go.
So
All right. All right, Emilio. Looking forward to hearing from you
You
Sunday,
have a great night.
You too.
All right.
Night.
Good job. All right.
Yo, Ellis.
Ronbo.
Ellis.
Wow.
Ellis, here we are, sitting at the edge of 2022 with anticipation. And even though the Rams are in here trying to discourage us, we have all the faith in the world that we're going to be a good, solid club this year. And each and every Sunday is just going to be so delighted to be alive. Ellis, we got some issues. Well, are we going to be okay with some of the things we've talked about tonight? Or do you want to add some more issues? Anything? We'd love to hear from you on Wednesday, about Wednesday's practice.
Man, I didn't get to hear a whole lot about the Wednesday situation. Well, bring me up to speed. Whatever.
Well, the thing is, Trey's looking good. He's making most of those shots are looking good. He's zipping that ball all over the field. Dwelly made a great catch. A couple other guys. He's getting
Danny. Couple other guys.
Yeah, he's looking good, and he is where he should be right now. D'Amico Ryans is saying, like, boys, tearing us up out here. So these are good things. If at this point, I want that to be said to him, but at some point, you got to go. Kyle's going to be the bad guy. He's going to be the good cop, bad cop when he's sitting in a room. All right, Trey, that's a good job today, but listen, here's what's going to happen when we play the Rams, or here's what's going to happen when we play this team. He's going to look at teams with premier cornerbacks and say, that's a pick six on most Sundays and every Monday, okay? So what we're going to have to do is this, and this. Don't get him to the point where he thinks he's looking good yet. It's too soon, right? So we're watching that unfold. And Ayuk had a day where a linebacker covered him, and as the writer said, he really couldn't separate. And it was like Brandon, are you okay? I wonder if Brandon smokes dope. That was uncalled for. I want to apologize for that remark. Because Alex, how people can be inconsistent. You see a dude today and he's sharp, he's hot, his mind is working like a trap, and then another say, "Yeah, what'd you say? I'm standing right here, man. I wasn't speaking 100 miles an hour. What's up with you?" "Nah, I'm okay, man. I just got up." Okay. I wondered, does Brad Ayuk have those moments? So because the dude is too good to have a guy, a linebacker, undrafted free agent, not a cornerback, hold him down with no pads on. If anything else, he used to be able to move like a bullet with no pads on. Come on, man. But anyway, that's the only thing that weirded people out. But otherwise, and we got the offensive line that everybody's talking about. But Rowan brought up about Jake Brindle. It's solid. I like the fact Jake Brindle's been with us for 3 years. I didn't even know that. If anybody's ready to go, it's Jake. We're not in big trouble there. We may not. He's not going to be an all-pro, but we'll probably be solid. And last year and this year, Trey knows him. They've been working together.
Yeah, I'm thankful for that. I think that the offensive line is going to be. I think at this point it's not the cornerback that's going to be in question. It's the offensive line. At this point, it was the secondary at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's just kind of because we got these inexperienced fellas that are coming in, and we got Trent, that's the veteran, and Jake Brindle. He actually played real solid for us, so I'm not too disappointed in him being there. I just would have liked for us to be able to have that veteran presence, for our rookie we got from Arizona State, and just would have been better to have at least one season. But it is what it is. I figured Alex Mack was going to retire. There was a lot of people that were optimistic saying that he wasn't going nowhere.
I know.
But
it's breaking Tony's heart down in Australia. Tony thought that Alex was just going honeymoon crazy, and he couldn't put his clothes on long enough to consider football, right? So the thing is, now the reality is, he's seriously leaving us.
Yeah. Well, he's gonna miss out on a ring. He's gonna miss out on that Lombardi. So, but more power to him. He's got to do his best for him.
Ellis, we still got some great run blockers. All those guys can run block. If anything, we can still. It's going to be a balance.
It's the pass blocking that I'm concerned about.
Well, yeah, and that's one.
Yeah, I'm not really that concerned about the. Yeah, it's more about the pass blocking, and like I said, the experience, the lack of experience on the offensive line. They set up different type of stunts and little adjustments that defenses will make, and those guys who lack the inexperience and know a team is going to do that kind of stuff, being able to spot that kind of stuff, the communication that Alex Mack had on the line and being able to inform guys of different things, all of those different, nuances and stuff like that are going to be important for, the guys to be aware of. And if that flow isn't there, that's going to affect us, you know what I mean, in some capacity. I just hope, it's not as bad as it, could potentially be. Thankfully, Trent's there and whatnot, but I mean, Trent's going to cover and be more, he's going to focus on his job and his responsibility. And the center is, the bridge is the main, guy to spot those kind of things and what's going on, and the different things that'll be changing up with defenses. They try to, like I said, do this disguise and manipulate the offensive line and have them thinking something that one thing's going to happen, but they're really doing something else. Just being able to have those kind of things covered and somebody that's going to have that that eye for those kind of things. I'm hoping that Jake Brindle was taking notes and being studious in his time being under Alex, and also the other centers that we've had in the past, and that way you can make up for that.
We've only had two.
The offensive line is pivotal.
Yeah, we've only had two good centers. The guy that got hurt that first year we got out of New York, and of course Alex. Everybody else has been suspect. So if Jake Brindle could come in there and put a solid presence in for us, well, we'd be grateful. But you can't ask too much of him because he is of the quality he is, and he hopefully he's serviceable. And don't get blown up on every other snap, and we'll be fine.
Yeah, and with Mac being gone now, and his, him being more of a necessity, maybe that'll, it'll add some, it'll light a fire under him and add some extra form of incentive to, up his game and, be at his absolute best, because he's going to be more, in demand and stuff like that. So he could rise to the occasion. That's what we'd like to see. And instead of being a guy on the team for 3 years who didn't get really much spin, now he's going to be getting all. He may be the guy, and so that should give him a lot more of a motivation. Well, that's what I mean. So then that'll give him a whole lot more motivation to get it in and stuff like that. I'm glad we signed our rookies though and got them out the way. I was a little concerned with them taking some days off of practice. I don't know if they were sore because they're inexperienced, they're just new to the league, and certain stuff like that. Guys got to take a little day off here or there. They might have some soreness.
Not that group. Not at this point. They got to work hard every day, or else we ain't signing a contract.
Well, no, I agree. I agree, but the fact that they took that time off, that's what I was a little concerned about, or was it contractually an issue? But yeah, man. Lastly, ready to go. He's got his he wears adult
diapers. We got to go though, fam. You need to. Oh, okay, guys, be careful. Production's got an itchy trigger finger tonight. Alice, I'm sorry, fam. My pool seat stinking.
Don't pee in it. Don't wet the bed.
Okay,
You've got your pull-ups on, ready to go, because we know you're ready to go.
All right, Alice, we got to go too.
All right, I'm going.
I'll see you Sunday, fam.
Hit that like, subscribe, man. Wipe your feet. Know where you at.
That is truth. Anyway, my boost. All right, fam. Night, Ellis. My pool seat stinking. Rams fans happy we dumping Jimmy. Now they can start winning again. Even at 2-14, we swept the Rams. Get ready for the dark days again. No! Oh, hey, Mapu, here's the difference between now and the dark days. We didn't have a full supporting cast like we do now. Now you have a bunch of guys, and we have a couple of sore spots. We're okay. We'll be okay. Hey, yo, Levi. Thanks for that, Mapu. Thanks for the contribution. Levi. Did Odell Beckham Jr. say he'll be sitting out this year? The thought of that is hilarious. Odell, hey, yo, Bethel.
Hey, Ronbo.
Bethel. Well, Bethel, we only get one workout a week now. As far as observations go, we don't know what's going on out there otherwise. I couldn't make it yesterday because, like everybody else, that basketball game got intense between the Warriors and the Celtics. So here I am today, trying to go over what happened Wednesday. And Bethel, are you aware of what took place on Wednesday? Did you see anything that stands out in your mind and something you're concerned with going forward?
No, like always, what every year will always happen. We're always complaining that, why they didn't get this guy, why they didn't get that guy.
Yep.
And then we know that, we already have them inside, because, that's their plan. That's what they have planned. You don't know what they're planning, but, they have something in works, and you don't know what. And, and another thing I was actually watching, and I get the rookies, they probably got a good kick out of it. A lot of them got to meet Frank Gore.
Yeah.
And him. Can
you imagine, as a running back, meeting Frank Gore? What are the odds of you being anywhere in the NFL where you could say, Frank Gore, let me shake your hand? When I grow up, I want to be just like you. Because, God, Frank, we want to run like a running back, Frank Gore.
Yeah. That's right. Because he's a big inspiration. Like, because when you would see him run and everything with all that force and with him believing in himself and him doing what he did, it's, that's what you want on a player, you know, and I bet you anything, those running backs were probably asking a lot of good questions and how they can improve, and see what kind of stuff he does. So, if you prick their brain, you could improve.
I wish we
could,
you
might
Bethel,
see that
wouldn't it
in
be
the
great
preseason.
if we could keep Frank around as a consultant? He don't need to be out there every day. Jerry Rice always wanted, Jerry, can you come out just as a consultant role? You'd be on the payroll. Just come out once in a while, especially after a game, and make some observations. Talk to the guys, man. These kids will listen to anything you got to say. Frank Gore, the same thing, Come out once every couple of weeks and just say, you know what, I'm watching what you're doing. Here's what I think will make you unstoppable type of thing,
Yeah, because when he was in Buffalo, that running back that they had, he improved a lot because of Frank Gore, because of the kind of teaching Frank Gore gave to him. And seeing him do what he did, and, made him a better running back. So.
Running backs is almost a natural position. You either are a running back or you aren't, right? So, but there are some things in technique that you can help improve upon because most running backs hit the ground running, pun intended. This is why I'm telling you, Bethel.
Yeah.
If Trey Sermon doesn't show me something this year, this stuff about he'll be all right. He's just got to get used to the NFL. No. Running backs don't need to get used to the NFL. They come in doing what they did at school. They either are or aren't.
Yeah, and then plus, even though you gave up a draft pick, you're not paying them a lot. So if you could get, other running backs that are better and they're producing, then nothing was lost, and not a big, big deal.
Best running back we've had
because there's
UDFA. All right, you look back at Mostert. Mostert, if that dude could stay healthy, Mostert could actually be one of the greatest running backs in all of time. He's not a great blocker or anything, but when you give him the ball, he's frightening. He can hit a hole and accelerate just like that. It's too late. If you didn't get him when he first came down through there, it's over. God, that's amazing. That's a God-gifted talent. Can't teach that.
Yeah. And, and one good thing that I seen that, because of Gray's speed and, the way he could run, he's going to make our, DB guys a lot better because, now, they're going up against a speedster.
Yeah.
When they actually do go up with one in another team, they could handle it. So, and then you can see the veterans are teaching a lot of the guys how to, play a lot better, so, I'm hearing the Hufanga and Jimmy, the best duo.
Yeah. Already. Hufanga's talking about how the game is slowed down for him. I can see what's going on now.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so, that's another good thing then. And then plus, look at what they did with, Max Money. They signed all these, rookies and they did all this stuff. Maybe later on, when Jimmy, if he passes the physical or whatever it does, and they either trade him or they cut him, they're going to have that money to whatever they want to do with it. They could either, get some better players to come in or, they could roll it for next year. I think they could do it.
They have some breathing room to make some decisions and choices if they want to. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So if there's a good player out there that's, roaming around, they got the money to, to get him.
With the 49ers, you know how they are, though. The 49ers insist upon building through this draft. Now, they've done a good job, and, you're not – I don't think we're ever going to see them spending big bucks on free agents. We Javarius Ward, I think we were lucky that they did that. You know what, next year, though, I got a feeling that if the offensive line is a real big issue this year, and they've got a lot of offensive linemen this year. They're looking for one of them, 2 or 3 of them, to do a really good job. But next year they might actually pay for an offensive lineman. But as far as the 49ers spending big bucks every year on free agents, you're not going to see a lot of that.
And then plus, right now we're stacked in tight ends. We have a lot of tight ends. And
what's that about?
And we have a lot of right receivers too. So, that's, a lot of good competition right there. And, and I'm wondering who's going to get that second tight end part.
We're gonna see soon. Beth, we're gonna go. I'm gonna tell you what. I'll look for you Sunday, and we'll jump on another subject matter. That might be one of them too. All right.
All right, Ronbo. Like always, punch the like.
Yes.
Even though those Ram fans don't like to punch the like, even though they like to bug us.
It's like buying a house with a bad foundation and been eaten up by termites. Yeah. We're in here getting eaten up by rams. God, can't even call the exterminator. God. Anyway, I'll see you. See you this Sunday.
All right, Ronbo.
All right, Bethel.
Good night, Ronbo.
All right. Godzilla says Jimmy G will beat out Trey and lead us to the promised land. Godzilla, thanks for the contribution, but we actually need for Trey to do well. The 49ers, if you can not spend so much money at that position, you get a rookie in here and he can lead the team. It gives us more flexibility. I love Jimmy, and you know this, but, this is like a plan that I guess we have to see it through. Hey, Steven.
What's happening, Ronbo?
Steven, we're sitting back here and we're looking at what took place during. It's too early in the season. These practices aren't going to be lots packed full of information and things you can go off of. But they're always fun to go everywhere, and so you can sort of participate or anticipate what's going to happen next. But there's a lot of criticisms going on out there, And there's a lot of praise going on for Trey. And, of course, everybody's worried about the offensive line and slot positions. We do like our wide receiver room. And like I mentioned earlier, Steven, it's funny how every year Bethel just mentioned it too, we start crying before the season starts about certain things. Last year, we were all holding each other up, talking about how the secondary is going to be eaten alive. They were, So this year, we're kind of concerned about the offensive line. Hopefully, we're wrong this year. But what do you think from what you heard about in practice?
Oh man, I want to have high hopes for Aaron Banks. I want to have high hopes for Brunskill and Brendel, because right under Alex Mack is Brendel. So I really don't know how that middle to right side is going to be, especially since McGlinchey is coming back after a torn quad. Yeah. That's something that takes a lot of time to recover for him to kind of bounce back and try and play at least at the similar speed. Granted, he wasn't that great at the pass block, but he was good at the run block. Yeah. It's going to be really hard for him to kind of recuperate all that, all that muscle memory. Now, I kind of want to talk about something a little interesting. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone's kind of tired of talking about the QB room, but what's going to happen in Nate Sudfeld? Because
you heard about him in practice, right? He was out there just stinking the place up. I said, why'd you bring it back over here? It's the coach that we got back from the Eagles. He brought Nate in. Nate can't play no football. Oh.
No, he can't. It was a mercy signing. But I want to know how Brock Purdy's been. I want to know how Purdy, right? Mr. Irrelevant. I want to know how he's doing in camp, because that's something that it's always intrigued me as to why they signed him last. Like, what was the purpose of him being signed if we're going to get rid of Jimmy or get rid of Nate?
But Steven, here's the thing. The story on him was he was like their number one free agent priority, or UDFA coming. If they didn't pick him up after the draft, Kyle just saw an opportunity at number 7. We got everything else we need. It's at this point in the draft, get him. And they pulled him in. Kyle's been looking at that kid for a while.
That's actually kind of interesting then, because if, let's say, for instance, Jimmy G walks, we let Jimmy G walk, and Nate Sudfeld sucks.
He does.
This OTA during this offseason.
Purdy becomes number 2.
Yeah, or let's say Trey Lance doesn't do that good, or he gets injured for one game and he has to miss 2 or 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of sets the tone, okay, Brock Purdy is right underneath.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of want to see, because I've never seen any games of him play, so I'm interested to see what intrigued Kyle so much to sign him at the 7th round.
And they paid him today $3 million for 4 years. Listen, here's the thing, Steven. It was comedy at first, but he looks exactly like Jimmy. In the drills, in the what I says, his head, everything looks like Jimmy. I said, and Kyle says the same things about him. He gets the ball out quickly. He puts it in the right spots. He does this. He does that. I said, Kyle went and got him a Jimmy G light in case things go wrong. Hilarious.
That's a good thing and a bad thing. And I think bad thing because it's like if Brock Purdy gets in a position where he panics and he forces the ball, then that's going to be a bad thing. But if we get 2017 Jimmy before he tore his ACL, then we have nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. Let's get a younger Jimmy G from 2017. Let's go back in time, bring him forward, and just let Jimmy G walk if he's that good. I mean, because that Jimmy G
was special. Yeah.
He was special. Now he's just a shadow of his own self, which is kind of disappointing.
The thing is, I don't know what Brock Purdy looked like at school either, but the problem is he's learning Kyle Shanahan's offense. You've got to alter whatever you are to some degree, because Shanahan's offense requires certain kind of play, and you got to step away from yourself, and you've got to learn what he wants you to do. I think that has a lot to do with Jimmy, too. I don't think when Garoppolo goes to wherever he's going, you're going to see an entirely different quarterback. I think it's like Bill Belichick said, I wouldn't have used him that way. He's going to let Jimmy be Jimmy, run the offense more toward what his strengths actually are, right? So that's one of the things we're going to see when Jimmy leaves. But right now, and I worry about that with Trey to some degree, too. is Trey going to be able to do what Kyle says and still remain Trey Lance? This is what happens. But I think as a professional, I guess that's what you're expected to do.
Yeah. And then, I mean, it's granted, that's what gets you drafted. That's what gets you picked. Now, I also want to talk about some of our undrafted free agents that we picked for our offensive line. That's interesting. That's real interesting because if you look at the draft, I mean, most of it was defensive players, wide receivers, and some offensive line, like very small, like enough to count on one hand.
Mm-hmm.
But who we picked up, I'm kind of interested on what stood out for Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch to kind of be like, yeah, we're going to pick these guys in the undrafted free agency. But
they had certain qualities. They checked all the boxes for the scouts and things like that. Yeah.
Well, it's going to be interesting this season, Ronbo. That locker room is very different from what we saw last season in the draft room, after the draft. It's going to be – because we're looking at it like, okay, we need to fill these slots and these slots and these slots. It's like missing teeth. But our defense is solid, which we don't have to worry about anymore.
Yeah.
Our wide receiver room is phenomenal. If Danny Gray plays as well as people think he plays in the OTAs, then we have nothing to worry about going forward in the future. Our running back room obviously is plentiful, but we need someone like Frank Gore to kind of coach them on how to do smash mouth football because Elijah Mitchell, don't get me wrong, he's phenomenal, but he'll get injured quick. He will get eaten alive.
Well, who? Elijah Mitchell, I know. He got stronger. He's been working out and getting bigger and stronger because he hasn't got that grown man strength yet. But I'm sure he's working toward that. So I don't know if that's going to help him avoid injury, but he should be a little more durable. We'll find out.
I want a running back that is built like Frank Gore, like an elephant bullet, just kind of running through offenses. I mean, not defenses like it's nothing. Like Frank Gore is definitely a special running back, and man, we definitely need that, like a real smash mouth running back that can take a beating and keep
and fearless. We're talking about a guy who had 2 torn ACLs on both legs, and he still runs like that. Steve, we're out of time. Frank's not. There's only one Frank Gore. Those kind of players only come along. That's a generational guy. You're just not going to see another one for a long time. But all right, Stephen, look forward to Sunday and see what's going on. All right.
All right. You have a good one. All right.
You too. Thanks, Stephen. Yeah. And have we got anything up? I saw somebody leave a note for us. The big show, Brock Purdy versus everybody in a Don Bird voice. Shows become the court gesture on every show now. It goes, hey, Levi, are you available? Wait, Falcons and Niners have 0 running back history?
Hey, what's up, Ronbo?
Hey, Levi, come on in, man. Hey, Levi, do you remember the 49ers? Any great running backs for the 49ers?
Yeah, we had a couple. We had Craig, one of the 1,000 yards.
The first one to ever do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Garrison Hurst was pretty good. I don't know if I'll call him great.
Yeah, well, Garrison Hurst had his moments, but was Frank Gore? Is he somebody you'd like to see in the Hall of Fame?
I don't know if he's gonna make it because although he's been like a very male consistent, he never kind of topped the league. He was kind of really good for a long time, which is why he number 3 all time rushing.
Yeah, but you got to give it to a back to go 1,000 yards every year for the length of time he did. That's hard to do.
Hey, man, I would have no problem getting it to him.
Yeah. So there's Rams running around saying the 49ers have never had a good running back. I found that interesting. But we we have to
those
learn.
They come to your channel just to talk crazy.
I can't.
They don't believe half the stuff they say.
They say themselves. I know. just throwing rocks in the water.
They do they people got a channel? Why are they here?
Just to make
you are a Rams fan. Isn't there some Rams content creators for you to?
They can't make anybody go crazy by coming and making bizarre remarks. So, But anyway, let's talk 49ers. Levi, the practice Wednesday. Trey's out there zipping the ball around. He's looking spry. He's looking fly, and doing a pretty good job so far. All the players and everybody, our coaches are yelling and screaming their name at the top of their lungs. And it wasn't perfect, but it was okay, especially this time of season. There's been some critics to say some things that I didn't see because I didn't see any footage on it other than a couple of clips. But you got any assessments about Wednesday's practice? Also, the biggest concern seems to be tonight, we're concerned about the offensive line, the durability of the offensive line. And as usual, our main problem each and every year, Levi, is can we please stay the hell up off the IR? At least with the best players we got. God. What are your feelings?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the O-line because it's like the only thing that I can really say. And I do have my questions. I mean, we got all these young players that's going to be thrusted ahead. I know another place I was talking about, they had some ideas of some other lineman that was going to be expensive. And I'm like, man, I just don't know. All I can do is just cross my fingers and hope Trey Lance is this great player that your people are always saying he is, that, he's going to stand plays and stuff. And I don't know, just got to hope things be made happen. Or maybe these people will show up, Yeah. Well, didn't they say, what was his name, Jalen Brown or Aaron Banks or whoever that pick was, the only reason they put him out was because, they didn't want to mess with chemistry. Right. And now that we got this whole new run line, you got to worry about chemistry because we don't have
We don't have any chemistry right now. You got rid of Jake Lake and Thomason, so you got to get somebody. You got Aaron Banks over there. You got Jake Brendel, pretty much. I got the starting offensive line already. I got Trent Williams at the left tackle. At left guard, I got Aaron Banks. At center, I got Jake Brendel. At right guard, Jalen Moore's name has come up tonight. And Mike McGlinchey, the man of mystery, returning from that injury, at right tackle, one of the best in the game, in the run game, and has improved almost dramatically in the passing game. So there's not a lot of badness on that offensive line, but they haven't worked together, Levi, and people don't know each other. They don't. Yeah. And Mike's been out a year.
Oh, well, maybe they'll just gel, so maybe they'll just have some chemistry or something.
It takes a while.
I don't know, Ronbo. You just got to cross your fingers, hope they at least play well enough.
Crossing my elbows and everything else.
If you don't trust it, call a lot of plays that, it'll be a lot of faster plays. I don't know if that's going to work with Trey Lance. I mean.
See, this is what I'm worried about. If you had a guy back there that's seen it all, you could put him back there, and even with an offensive line. It's like Tom Brady has made some really bad offensive lines look good. Even with Jimmy, as bad as people hate him, one thing Jimmy did do most of the time was get rid of the ball quickly before that offensive line could really be fully exposed. So, Trey is going to have to go through that, and he's going to have to see it live and in living color and be able to do the same thing. He's got to get rid of that ball quick. Especially, we're worried about him going deep downfield. Everybody's saying we're going to be throwing the ball deep downfield. If that offensive line doesn't perform, deep downfield is pretty much out. Every now and then, if we got a weak defensive pass rush. But otherwise, oh my God, get rid of the ball, get rid of it now. You don't have time for a deep route to develop. Let it go. So we got that.
I kind of agree. I mean, because most of your callers that we talking about, they said that, oh man, Trey Lance is going to add that deep ball because he has a better deep ball throw. Because even Jimmy Garoppolo deep ball kind of like iffy to me. Hey, like you say, man, how you gonna get the deep ball? You gotta have some time. You gotta hold up at least 2 or 3 seconds.
It takes a little while for the man to get downfield, even if it is Danny Gray. You know? So, you know, yeah.
Catch him on stride.
Well, you're doing a play action.
You just throw the ball up and you just catch it and run.
Yeah. We'll take it, do the Patrick Mahomes 20-step drop back. Mahomes is one of the only people. Trey might be able to do that.
Well, Patrick Mahomes has a great O-line. Look at the O-line. He gave Patrick Mahomes a great O-line from the get-go.
Well, it's been pretty good, but I wouldn't put a Pro Bowl offensive line, but not bad. It ain't the Dallas Cowboys offensive line. But Mahomes was taking some deep drop backs, you know.
Yeah, time.
Yeah.
Aside from that Super Bowl, man, usually they give him a couple of seconds and which is why he can always throw the ball because they got him a pretty good O-line. He has time.
And
it's
Levi,
very rare that he just get rushed. He gets the drop back, get a little time to run, and then if you take a little more time, then he knows how to scramble. That's when he does a little scramble.
You got Tyreek Hill, 4'3", damn near 4'2" something. All right, this makes a difference. Okay, then we got Danny Gray. He can run that fast. All right, this is the thing. We might be able to pull it off. I don't know how it's going to affect. Kyle's got a plan. I'm pretty sure though. So we'll see.
All right. Well, I got a little extra stuff that I want to just toss. I know it's all season, and I'm just going to throw out a couple of ideas.
Real quick, because we're out of time, actually. Can you give me one idea for now? We'll get the other one Sunday.
Oh, yeah, because, I was like, are you going to be, talking about who made these all-pro? This thing, every year we seem to have a little new special admissions to our all-pro lineup. One, we had Kittle one year, we had Fred Warner, then we got Debo, and then
Nick.
Are you going to ask, hey, which one of the people might be the all-pro for this year? Who's going to be the all-pro candidate?
Levi, even if we don't, you could bring that up anytime you like. We're out of time now, though, but yeah, that's a good one. I like that. Who is the potential Pro Bowler? By the way, NFL Network has already said that Nick Bosa will be the DPOY. DPOY. He's already been picked. Aaron Donald is done. All right, fam. I'll see you Sunday, okay?
All right, later.
Night, Levi. We move over quickly to Fly Guy.
Ronbo.
Fly Guy. Well, Fly Guy, we're just sitting here looking at what we got so far and what little we've heard from about in camp. Fly Guy, you got some things you want to say about this?
I was thinking about what kind of team we're gonna have starting the season. Like, in order for us to be very good, we got to find our identity.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, who we are. Like, is we a passing team or a running team? Or is we a defensive team or a scoring team? So once we start to find those kind of things out, I think we'd be rolling. We
start off playing Chicago. Looking at the schedule, you know what's really funny about what you're saying, man? The teams we're playing, you're going to have to bring a certain kind of game each and every time. We have to deal with the AFC West early on. The Bears is probably not going to be real scary, although I don't want to underestimate them, because when you do that, then you get your brains beat out. It's going to be interesting. It's a good question. Who are the 49ers in 2022?
Yeah.
Who are we?
Because at this point, we don't know. We don't know what our identity is. So we figure it out, then we're not going to figure the team out. So Kai's going to work on it. I believe we're going to get it. That's why I say the second half of the season we're gonna be hot.
You know who we are by then.
In the beginning we're gonna struggle a little bit, and then we're gonna win a few games, and then we're gonna be like 500 to the bye, and then after the bye, then we catch fire.
You know what though? One thing we can know for sure right now, Fly Guy, Kyle's going to want to run the ball. This is what him and his dad do. We're going to be running the ball, no doubt about that. But as to what point or what rate And are we going to have a passing game? Because with Kyle, his passing game is mostly just an extension of the run game. It's a lot of short passes. That may increase if Debo's playing. I don't know. I hope he's working out because the last time I saw Debo, he's looking like, hey, Fat Albert.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? D! Oh, my God. Are you going to be ready for the season?
Yep.
Yeah, no, so I don't know. And he's going to be ready.
That's why I was saying we got to find the identity because Kyle is gonna think automatically that he's gonna run the ball. But how do we know the running game is gonna work this year? Well, we don't know that. It can be the passing game that works. Well, so that's why I say we got to figure out what worked first before we commit to something. Like we can't just commit to running, but it's not working.
But eventually. You do know that's what Kyle likes to do, though. We already know that. That's what he's been doing for years.
It was working before. It was working, but now can the running game work? We don't know that. It's like
it worked last year. Actually, it wasn't bad. It's never really bad. I mean, that's what Kyle and Bobby do. They got run game. Mike McDaniel. This is what they do. So a run game is always decent. Now, will it be like it was when Mostert was here? Probably not. But they're still going to run the ball. Because his offense, everything springs from that run game. Whatever Kyle wants to do, the play action, all that stuff, it still runs from that run game.
Yeah, we got to figure that out when the season starts. That's why I said once we figure who we are, then it's over. And Kyle doing a pretty good job because when he came the first year, he didn't really have a good year because he didn't draft nobody yet. Mm-hmm. But so far, what he's been doing with the draft, our team is loaded. We're gonna be good for a long time. I believe that.
Yeah, as long as we can re-sign people. My God, it's gonna be expensive. Whew, man.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. Who are the 49ers? And they didn't figure that out last year until middle of the season. And they finally got everybody on the right page. We became a run Debo game. It was a passing. It was a hybrid of a new style in the NFL. Hey, Fly Guy, I guarantee you some other teams are going to try to see if they can do a Debo this year. But there's only one Debo. Other teams don't understand. Ain't Debo's all over the league, people. You can't run your wide receiver like that. It ain't going to happen. So.
But some receiver can do it, but I believe Kyle just have those plays that work for Debo.
And then there's that.
Debo is not a special superhuman. You can do the same thing too. No, Ronbo. Listen, Ronbo. You can do the same thing too if Kyle goes to Ayuk. I'm just telling you the way Kyle set up the plays is a little tricky for the defense. So Debo he hit the holes and he gone. But Ayuk can do it too. It's like it's Kyle that's setting up the plays. The plays are working. That's what they are. Yeah, it's not just because he's Debo. Somebody can come in and do the same thing Debo's doing.
Flag Guy, if we got a bunch of victims on the phone to testify how when Debo came down through there, their arm is still hurting from mid-season. I mean, you know, Debo comes down through there. Flag Guy, you ever played football before? There's these guys that are naturally built with a certain center of gravity. They feel like they don't have to be that heavy or big, but they feel like they weigh a ton when you try to bring them down. I can look at Debo and tell he's that kind of dude. You go to wrap him up, he'll break your shoulder, your elbow, everything will be pulled out of place. It's just he's one of them dudes. So, get that big booty and everything else.
That big lower body. The lower body is very big.
Them dudes
big legs look like
terrible.
And arms.
You got a real technique to bring them dudes down. And if you try to wrap up, that's when you get your butt beat. So,
yeah, but we good.
He's strong, but he ain't like Debo.
No, Ayuk could get loose too now. Trust me. I don't understand him.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying him and Debo, two different ball players. One can do what the other can't do. That I'm sure of. But fam, look, I can't believe the clock ran out that quick. We're out of time. We're just having fun, I guess. All right.
Yeah.
Like I'll see you Sunday, okay?
All right.
All right, man. Good night. And area code 541.
What's up, Ronbo?
Yeah, who is this?
This is Aaron from 49ers Breakdown.
Aaron, 49ers Breakdown. Come on in, Aaron. Welcome on in, man. Good to meet you.
What's up, man? Yeah, it's good to meet you. Good to talk with you. I wanted to talk about Donovan McLance, or I mean Trey McNabb. That's what I'm looking at talking about.
You know, somebody put that. Was that you? Somebody put that in the chat earlier too.
Oh yeah. You know what's interesting is that McNabb, his rookie year, he started a couple games and a few games. I think about 5 or 6, and he played all right.
Mm-hmm.
But his second year, he went off which essentially his full year as a starter, and he won Offensive Player of the Year
in
the league. And
you forgot to add Cam Newton to that list too. They got similarities,
right?
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't think Trey has got really the feet of Cam. I definitely think he's got similarities.
Cam does have feet. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Cam was just a freak runner where, Trey can run, but, I like him more to a Russell Wilson type or a Donovan McNabb type.
Yeah.
But that's the best comparison I can give, and I think Kyle would be wise to use Trey similar to how Andy Reid used Donovan McNabb and let him scramble and plays break down. I know you've talked about that as well. But this offensive line, Ronbo. This offensive line.
Fam, what is your name again?
Aaron.
Aaron, I'm sorry.
49ers Breakdown.
Aaron, this is the thing that has everybody scared. That offensive line. Are they going to come together in time for us to have? You can't, because no matter what anybody can do offensively with this team, it all starts with whether the offensive line can generate or dictate what we do. And now, right now, I don't know. What do you think?
100%. Yeah, and you guys mentioned chemistry a little bit earlier, and I was going to say continuity, but that's so important. And when you lose a guy like Mack at the center position,
and
we can
Tomlinson.
Remember, and Tomlinson, yeah, very, very big. But I look at that, the center position as that point when you're trying to run outside zone. It's very difficult. When we had that revolving door at center, the run game was suspect at times.
Remember,
and
guys were coming right up the middle.
Years,
taking down Jimmy. I mean, come on, guys. This is hard to run an offense like this. And Kyle pulled that guy right after that Hawks game. He saw that, and he said, "That's it. He'll never be back out there again." We never saw that guy again.
Right.
We got his name.
Yeah. I think it was like Hronis Grasu or somebody. There was a lot of guys that were. Yeah, we were bringing guys off the street, and it was troublesome. And teams are starting to play, exotic looks, odd fronts, covering the center, making it difficult to run those zone schemes.
Right.
And when I look at the depth on the O-line, it's nice that a guy like Justin School's coming back because he has experience in McGlinchey. But again, they're coming off of significant injuries, right?
Yep.
So you see, I think we have more depth now on the offensive line than the Niners have ever had with Kyle.
We got an army
as coach. Right, but it's not top heavy, right? It's not like we have the Lakers and the Mac. And
yes.
But there's a couple dark horses. A guy like Keaton Sutherland. He plays center and he's on the roster from Texas A&M, and I'm sure he's going to be competing with Brendel. And then I think it's a real dark horse, but Alfredo Gutierrez. I mean, 6'9", 332 to continue to develop at tackle.
What a perfect specimen team. So, and we never see any clips. I think 49ers, you kept Brendel for 3 years. Keep Gutierrez. Work with him.
Yes.
I
agree. Yeah. From what I've seen of the small amount of film we've seen, he's athletic, but, it's a different game in the NFL. And then, of course, there's Colton McKivitz, but I think to go with the continuity
I forgot about him.
Talking about with right. So there's and of course Kel, and I love Burford. I mean, I think Burford's just got that dog in him, right? He's gonna take your spot.
Yeah.
But the one interesting component, losing Mike McDaniel elevated Chris Forrester to the run game coordinator. And so now the offensive line coach, who's one of the best in the NFL, he still helps out the offensive line coach, but the the main guy kind of running the offensive line is James Craig out of LSU, and it's his first year with the Niners, and now Forster's going to be developing game plan, working, it's an interesting dynamic with a young group. I guess we're lucky that Trey has mobility.
And Aaron, you mentioned the run game. What effect do you think Anthony Lynnism is going to have on run game? Real quick, we only got a few seconds here. What do you think?
I like it. I think Anthony Lynn's a great coach, and he's of course he played for the older Shanahan. He knows the system. Yeah. The one cut. I think it's a good room. Room, a deep room. If I'm hasty, I'm worried about a job because I think some of these young kids are going to be challenging him. And so I think I like a lot of the coaches that we've added. Special teams coach. I think but like you mentioned earlier, chemistry, continuity, that plays a big part, especially early in the season.
And continuity sometimes takes years. With the offensive line, they've had no chance to build continuity. This is what I'm also concerned with as well. You can build continuity during the course of the season, but you're going to have lumps and bumps and bruises that could cost you games. Well, we're going to see what happens, though. Hey, Aaron, great to meet you. Let's talk. You're on YouTube here. What is your name of your show?
Yeah, 49ers Breakdown. We just break down some all 22s and get into the X's and O's. And
49ers Breakdown.
But I appreciate your Ronbo.
Mark it down, fam. Keep an eye on Aaron. 49ers Breakdown. All right, fam. Appreciate you getting in here, too. All right. Talk to you
have
later.
A great weekend, Ronbo.
You too.
Okay.
All right. Bye. And let's go. It's that man, Tony. Atlanta's Falcons. Tony. Get in here, Tony.
Ronbo, good evening. How are you
Tony?
today, man?
Well, great, Tony. You probably noticed our resident wizard from the Los Angeles Rams mentioned that he doesn't know about any running backs that came out of Atlanta or San Francisco.
Yeah, I was texting him back and forth about that. I gave him a whole list. I said, what about William Andrews? And the Falcons' history in running backs is not that good. So I gave him William Andrews and Gerald Riggs. Yeah. He called them characters.
He called them what?
Characters. I don't know anything about those characters.
It's really bad. By him, okay, they've had when you got the running back that they did have, the Hall of Famer, the one who ran like a gazelle.
Eric Dickerson.
Yeah, you got ED. You can go around making fun of other people's running backs, but you know what? It doesn't mean that every running back not named Eric Dickerson is that bad. All right, so this is the thing. I don't know how you get indignant to the point, and then the thing about y'all got one champ. Y'all only had a championship in 30 years, and here's a team that. How old is the NFL?
30 years.
The NFL is how old? Oh, the NFL is over 100 years old. Didn't we have a 100-year celebration here? Yeah. They've got 2 trophies and only one in Los Angeles, yet one trophy in 30 years, since 30 years, is something you can actually hurl at somebody as an insult? I don't think so.
Yeah. And I told him in the comments, I was talking about Marshall Faulk and Eric Dickerson. I said I rated Marshall Faulk a little better because Marshall Faulk could block, and Marshall Faulk was an outstanding receiver.
Yeah, Eric was not blocking nobody, was he? Eric was just coming around that corner like a jet. Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah. Marshall Faulk was all world. That's true. Okay. But how many, the team has one trophy in St. Louis and one in Los Angeles. I'm not impressed.
That's what I told him. I said, I was talking to Rudy too, but Rudy didn't respond. I said, who's the better back between Marshall Faulk and Eric Dickerson for the Los Angeles, Anaheim, St. Louis, San Bernardino Rams?
You can't find an identity for them. They don't know where they belong. Refugees, they'll be leaving L.A. soon again. Can't pay the rent.
The Rams and the Raiders, Ronbo, they can't pay their rent. They get kicked out.
Woo!
They can't deny it. They can't deny it because we're not lying.
So I'm all right with that. Tony,
how dare he say How dare he say Frank Gore don't belong in the Hall of Fame, man? He stood the test of time, man. Running back take a beat.
And in NFL, to be able to stay out there and Frank Gore has had 2 ACL injuries that I know of, and on both legs. And the thing is, if you continue to play the way Frank Gore does, and Tony, had Harbaugh not lost his mind, him and Greg Roman, had they not lost their mind in that Super Bowl, instead of passing that ball like the Hawks did, gave it to Frank Gore, that quest for 6 would have ended. Frank Gore was not going to get stopped. Just like Marshawn Lynch was not going to get stopped standing up on the goal line. What in the world goes through coaches' minds, Tony? Oh!
It's
Why?
just like Devontae Freeman in our Super Bowl. Even if he hadn't gained another yard, we'd have kicked the field goal and won our Super Bowl.
And the clock.
Run the ball.
Yep. So when these coaches black out suddenly in these prime moments,
they want to pass. Yep.
I don't
want to pass.
You're not surprising anybody. Stop it.
No, not at all.
So
But Ronbo, I told him too. I said, do you realize Roger Craig was the first man to ever get 1,000 yards rushing and receiving in the same year? He didn't respond to that.
He didn't know. Ready to go. I dare you to tell us how old you are. If he's over 35 and he's talking like this, he would be embarrassed, right? If he's 17, 18, 19, or 20, okay, understandable. I was an idiot at that age as well. You know what though? Well, hey, Tony, do you remember saying anything about certain things, especially sports, around certain people, and didn't know what you was talking about? I had enough sense to know when to shut the hell up. I really did.
Your these doctors, they know everything because of technology and social media.
Man, my uncle, he used to tell me, I learned about, when I was 15, 16, first thing I learned is when I was saying things I didn't know what I was talking about. Look, when grown folks is talking, you need to hush. What?
Oh, yeah. I remember that when I was growing up. Yes, sir.
And then they point out. No. God.
I understand that Trey Lance looked pretty good today, y'all.
Yeah, he was whipping that ball around. But there's never been any doubt about Trey Lance's ability to throw the ball, other than, last year his finger was hurt and the ball was coming off his hand a little strange. But he's looking good now, and he's just got to make some adjustments to the NFL, and let's see where he goes. Because Donovan McNabb and some of these guys that they're already looking at him at. I guess I did go too far with Cam Newton. Cam Newton did have some footwork, but that boy, them first few years.
I don't see him being on the NFL roster. He's got his little podcast going on now anyway.
Cam?
Yeah.
No, Cam is done. I said it last year. Yeah, he's done.
Yeah. The question is, go ahead, sir.
No, I was going to say, it's right, though. It's like Steve Young said, you can run around all you want to, but you best learn how to pass out of that pocket. Let that offensive line protect you. Get rid of the ball. Running around is just, Russell Wilson is a miracle happening. I don't know how he's lasted as long as he has, taking lumps yet. Look at Lamar Jackson already starting to miss time. You got to get rid of the ball. Get rid of the ball.
Yep. Get that rhythm going. Get a cohesion with your offense. And like I was saying about Trey Lance, get the ball to your playmakers. Short passes, run the football. Like you said, Kyle Shanahan, you run that rock, man, your offense going to be like a symphony, like it was for us in 2016, 2017, because we ran the football. The Falcons were fifth in rushing that year.
And what's his name was number one. There's no people have problems with the ball. People don't understand. There's nothing wrong with an offense if it's effective, no matter whether you're running or passing. There's no need to beg for something that's been efficient and go the other way. That makes no sense. If you run the ball, run the damn rock. It is not mandatory to keep going downfield. It's nice. But if you're winning and you're carving up a defense and wearing them out and making them tired by keeping them on the field for 10, 15 minutes, then you damn well better continue to do it.
Yeah, because if that was the case, we would have had a Lombardi. Y'all would have had 2 more Lombardis.
Yep.
And Petey Carroll would have had a Lombardi.
Which I'm delighted that he didn't.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
More mimes came up from that. Donnie,
how's your defense looking?
Let me see you Sunday, okay?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll see
All
you
right,
Sunday. And then you tell me how your defense was looking.
Yeah. We're that defense is looking gnarly. We'll see. All right. Have a great night, Tony.
Take care, sir.
You too. Thanks. Hey, Casey. Casey does this on
Ronbo,
purpose.
my man.
Oh, is that, he knows I'm concerned. Casey.
Yeah, it was my meditation hour. I'm just out here meditating. What's shaking, Ronbo?
No, we're just looking at the work. We had one workout this way, and Trey was like out there whipping that ball around, working the defense. Got D'Amico Ryan said, "Yeah, he's got us working out here," And Talanoa Hufunga, man, I love to watch this guy slay the rock. So we're
I know Hufunga's awesome, man.
Mm-hmm. So it's.
He's got Kowalski's old number now.
Is he? I didn't even notice. Is he wearing? Can you imagine your Kowalski? You're looking to see what the 49ers are doing. Oh man.
I think 29 fits Hufanga great though.
I mean, the thing is, what about Kowalski? They gave him my number. Hey, Kowalski changed numbers though. Didn't he change number to number 3 or something like that? Number 4?
Yeah.
So
hopefully he gets a number this year, Ronbo.
What, Kowalski? Yeah, I don't know if the 49ers are going to bring him back in unless somebody gets hurt.
I don't think so.
I think you know what? I think Kyle really is.
He's got a great opportunity to redeem himself.
I know, but I think they're really bitter about that drop.
That poor guy, man. God, why did it have to be my boy? Not Kowalski Ronbo. Not Kowalski Ronbo.
I know, he's always been my favorite. I love his name, if nothing else, Kowalski T.
I know, man. And he's famous. He's famous to me because he used to take on Marshawn, man.
I know. Hey, you remember that too? That's the first time I'd ever seen any one man.
He did it twice. He did it twice, man.
And look effortless.
Kowalski was a dog, man. I love you, Kowalski. Rest in peace, man. All right, Ronbo. So, I called in because a few nights ago you asked, have the Warriors ever won a championship at home? And the answer is yes. And there's a moment that stands out when they won. And God damn it, I think it was the 17. Because I'm pretty sure it was Katie's first because it had to have been because there's this moment where they clear the ball with 30 seconds left, and then KD is on one side and he's crying, and he's bent over crying.
Yeah.
And then Steph is on the other side dribbling the ball and shoots a 3 and sinks it. And it's just this crazy.
I gotta go back on YouTube and find this scene. Are you serious?
Yeah, no, it's just. It's this crazy dichotomy of KD crying while Steph is just tearing it up, still shooting a 3 with up 9. It's just whatever they were.
It
was Game 5, and they were at home.
Well, I said because I wasn't really aware of the Warriors winning on the home or not. I just all I know is that they do well in that facility when they're at home. The Warriors can play the Oracle or wherever they're playing. If they're at home, they're going to kill you.
They messed up my 4-teamer so bad the other night, Ronbo. I'm so upset with them, Ronbo, and I'm so upset with the Milwaukee Brewers. I can't even.
The Celtics. At some point, Casey, we can't get into a long basketball conversation. Listen, at some point, some people we're gonna have to take the Celtics seriously. Horford 26 points. I'm not following basketball that hard this year, but he was just dropping threes like he does that all the time. What?
Yeah, and the Warriors just couldn't shoot in the fourth quarter.
Oh, yeah, they did the 49ers. We got the lead here. We got a 10-point lead, and we're gonna give it up here in the fourth quarter.
That's a terrible analogy. We didn't edit this out, production. Edit this out. There's still time, production. Oh my God.
Hey, Casey, at least it wasn't a one-game playoff, like the Super Bowl.
Oh.
I was laughing. I said, man, Niners. And then the 49ers, here you guys go. You guys got a 12-point lead. You guys are the Warriors. What happened? You don't give up 12 points, and it's a 24-point swing. They lost by 12. What? That's crazy. So,
So, hey, Ronbo, man, what you think about Frank Gore retiring as a 49er?
That's fabulous. We knew it was going to happen. I just didn't know when. So, this year was the year. And that's
you remember in Frank Gore's rookie year when they went 2-14, but they swept the Rams?
That's a habit. And Frankie Gore was the only person out there seemingly playing football. Yeah. Frank!
And that's why the Seahawks really didn't. That's why the Seahawks hated the Niners so much. We never cared about the Seahawks. The Seahawks hated us because we used to tear that ass up.
These rivalries. Well, hey, Casey, you know what I get a kick out of bothering Seahawks fans about? Yeah, well, the rivalry between. Whoa. You use the word rivalry. It indicates that there's some championship exchange over and over by the same two clubs.
Yeah.
The 49ers have a rivalry with the Cowboys, the Steelers, but I don't know when you guys have went back and forth. You just recently won a trophy, okay? But there's no rivalry. You guys are that team over in Seattle. It bothers the hell out of us. That's where that ends.
Yeah, I like where Seattle is at right now.
They got a good defense building again, though. They really do. I like where they're at, too, out of our way.
Yeah.
Oh,
Casey. They're definitely going to finish fourth next year.
I said something like that last year, though. They haven't got Russell Wilson, though. This time it's promised that they're going to get beat. It feels good to say
We're going to send them back to the AFC West, Ronbo.
No! And they'll be really in big trouble.
I bet you Seahawks fans didn't even know that. You Seahawks fans out there listening, y'all didn't even know you used to be in the AFC West.
They're going to put a fifth team in the AFC West this year. The Hawks are reportedly going back to the AFC West, where they probably don't really care to be. Woo! Casey, I got to go. I didn't tell you, but I'm going to see you Sunday. And drive carefully out there, Tracy. I know you do. Watch who you let in the car, too.
Thanks, Ronbo. We'll do. Pleasure as always, Ronbo. Thank you for everything. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, Casey. Have a good night. There he goes, my dude, Casey. Fam, I'm going to go. And, hey, let's get together on Sunday, and maybe we'll say things like, whoa! Because, it intermingles with this time of year. Because that was strange to watch. They lost. I thought the Warriors had this. Klay Thompson. Splash Brothers will be as one. You know how they do between the two of them scoring over 50 points? So you figure in Wiggins, who looks like, who is this? The Warriors got that third dude now, don't they? This dude, man. And, of course, they got to get that guy that comes in for Steph. What's the name of the little guy that comes in and likes to dribble a ball through the floor? Rest of the Warriors, hey! Oh, look at you. Pass the ball, man. I'll see you Sunday, fam. In the meantime, and thanks. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like. Thanks for the contribution tonight, fam. Always appreciate it. See you Sunday.